Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's talk facts.
Here we go.
So we talked this morning, Dak Prescott is out. Dak Prescott, I find it to be ironic once again. He goes to New York to get the hamstring checked out, and that happens to be the very place that he is going to get the surgery. So Dak Prescott is done. Dak Prescott is out. And so I talked about it. The Cowboys have actually picked up Will Grier. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, hey, Jerry Jones is saying who gives them the best chance to win. I mean, I'll be honest with y'all. Will Grier better not touch that field, because I believe that Will Grier gives the Dallas Cowboys the best opportunity to win. I mean, Will Grier is actually, I'm telling y'all, the Cowboys keep flapping their gums about Cooper Rush, and we see what Cooper Rush is. Stop all the cap. A lot of people said in that preseason that Will Grier was better than Cooper Rush. But this is the epitome to me. In actuality, this is the epitome to me of Jerry Jones. Because a lot of times Jerry Jones does things. Jerry Jones does things based on who he likes. And it isn't always about a meritocracy with Jerry Jones. You get a lot of instances with Jerry Jones. You are literally watching favoritism at its finest. You're watching Jerry Jones tell the coaching staff who to play. What's going on, Jared? LaQueen, Purple, Frederick, what's going on? Jose, Lord, what's going on? Danny Dodger, Janie, what's going on? I mean, this is the epitome of this team. These are the types of decisions that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones make, and they throw meritocracy out the window. And this is the very reason why we have Ezekiel Elliott playing on this team. It's the very reason why we have Ezekiel Elliott. And there's no reason that Ezekiel Elliott should still be on this team. They should have traded him at the trade deadline, but he's still on the team. What can he contribute to this season other than what? We saw, the film is floating around out there. He tried to give Rico Dowdle some dap, and I don't know what was going on, but Rico Dowdle, man, he pretended like either he pretended or he didn't. He didn't. He pretended or he didn't see. He didn't see Ezekiel Elliott. But Dak Prescott is out. It's the end of an era. If everything goes the way that it should, the Mike McCarthy era is going to be over with. And it should be. I talked about this on X today. I know that I can give you every reason why Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones, why Jerry Jones is a lot of the reason why Mike McCarthy failed. But I still say the problem I have with Mike McCarthy, Mike McCarthy did not control the part that he can control, and that's play calling. I believe Mike McCarthy is actually in some kind of war with Jerry Jones. And I think a part of that war, we heard it the other day. I'm going to release a video about it after I get off the podcast. After I get off the live. Mike McCarthy said, you do not build a team through the draft, and you do not draft for need. Well, that's all Jerry Jones does, because he won't do anything in free agency. He won't trade. And so everything that Jerry Jones does, it's actually in the draft. And y'all know what the problem is? Let's be honest. The Cowboys have not been hitting in the draft like they used to. The Cowboys used to it's like They were hitting like crazy on the draft at once upon a time. They're not hitting on the draft no more. And since they're not hitting on the draft, man, things are not working out. Jared says, yes, there is. Micah Parsons, I think, ultimately hates the coaching staff, schemes of this team, and maybe in considering his departure. Don't you worry. He's going to be a big part of the second hour of this show. I'm actually glad that some of these ex-football players, coaches, have come out on Micah Parsons. And they should. They should. Because one thing I say, even when you're doing stuff like this, well, if you're gonna come out and you're gonna put it out there on the line, then you need to expect from time to time there's gonna be people to push back on you if you're saying things that are wrong. And Micah Parsons' problem is he's a good to great football player, but he hasn't accomplished anything. I mean, getting to the NFL is an accomplishment. I mean, I think he's got some accolades, some all-pro, stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, he hasn't accomplished anything. In this game, it's the chip or bust. It's the chip. That's what everybody's playing for, the chip. Problem with some of these Cowboys, they're starting to play for the money. They're playing for the 53 brands. What's going on? What's going on, the Queen? Yep. Hey, Purple. Jose Quavado says Jerry Jones is afraid of Trey Lance because he might end up winning some games. I'm telling you, I said it this morning. Jerry don't want to see Trey Lance get used to that rock. You get Trey Lance 3 games. Give him 3 games. Watch what he'll be doing by the 4th one. Watch what he'll be doing by the 4th one. Man, they'll be running him out of town. And I think somebody told Jerry something. Because I'll be honest with you. What's going on, Jay Army? I'll be honest with you. I didn't understand, and I understood because I was saying Jerry's going to be a good guy. But I'm telling y'all, Trey Lance get out there and light it up. He's going to be one of the hottest quarterbacks in the offseason. And I'm going to tell you something about Jerry. Jerry, I think somebody talked to him. Appreciate you, Jose. I think somebody talked to him because somebody probably said, if you want Trey Lance to be the backup quarterback for this team, you might not want to put him out there on display. Jay Orman said, Jerry said there's still positive things. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. He said there's still positive things about Zeke, so he's probably going to be here next year. Jay Orman, don't speak that into this atmosphere, man. Don't you put that spirit in this atmosphere. Don't you dare put that in this atmosphere. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Jerry lets a coach come in here and coach, Zeke gone. Ain't no coach in his right mind going to let Zeke take up a roster spot. I'm not letting Zeke take up a roster spot. Ain't no way. Well, for the Dak-haters, let Rush play. It's called be careful what you wish for. Also, Jerry don't want to win, so Rush is the best option. I'm telling you. I said it this morning, LaQueen. That's exactly what Jerry doing. Jerry not fooling us. Let me tell y'all something. Jerry ain't dumb. He saw exactly how Trey Lance looked. Did y'all see how hungry Trey Lance was? Maybe I'm just crazy. But I saw a different sense of urgency in Trey Lance. I mean, Trey Lance is playing like somebody, man, I'm playing for a job out here. I'm playing for a job. What's going on, Nisi? I mean, he was playing like he playing for a job. Man, that dude has some pep in his step. What's up, Jameson? I'm telling y'all, Jerry don't want no part of Trey Lance because he knows that if Trey Lance keep playing, you give him by the 4th game. Trey Lance will be messing up your whole draft. He'll be messing up your whole draft order. I mean, we know what Jerry looking at. Jerry trying to get in that top 10, y'all. Jerry trying to get in that top 10. Okay, so what I want to do today, I want to continue. I want to get through the Jerry Jones interview. We're pretty much halfway through it because I want to go to the Mike McCarthy response to Micah Parsons. Then I want to go to Micah Parsons' response to about Mike McCarthy, and he's trying to push back on what some people said about him. I want to show you that whole ordeal. I mean, it is nothing but, I'm telling y'all, this is exactly the problem with this team. We got a player who said he wants to be a leader of the team. And he's doing a podcast during the season. He's flapping his gums after the game, after you get the snot beat out of you. We see him laughing on the sideline. Then he comes out in his post-game interview, tone deaf, saying, I like the direction that we're going in. And you just got the snot beat out of you, and you're on your way to another beating. And you like the direction? Which direction are you talking about? A rebuild? I think Micah's been informed of the plan. And I think, see, Micah he don't think before he talks. This is the reason why you could see right through what Micah Parsons said about Mike McCarthy. So let's play through that. Then I want to deal with this issue of, there's a lot of people talking nonsense about the Dallas Cowboys, Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders. There are people talking about the Bill Belichick and Deion Sanders coaching thing is heating up. I'm sorry, nothing's heating up. You're not going to bring those two guys in here without a serious discussion. And I don't think nothing's heating up. Because if they're looking at the way this team is going, nah, they're not. There's nothing's heating up. There's got to be some long conversations before those guys talk about coming here. There has to be some long conversations. Frederick says it's funny that a man who has built his family wealth by investing in various ways doesn't build his team using all three ways of team building. It's crazy. It's crazy. And he's not building them to win is the problem. Jerry is just basically, it's like they're an advertising agency. It's like he's using them as a bargaining chip for other business endeavors, to get business deals in the NFL. I mean, he can basically tell investors, hey, look at what I've did with the Dallas Cowboys. We're the most valuable franchise in the world. I mean, Jerry is doing everything like this. Is crazy. Micah Parsons, to me, I think may want to be used like Alden Smith was back in the back then as a 3-4 rush outside linebacker. You know, I think he could work in the 4-3. Because you know how that 3-4 goes, Jared. You get that 3-4. I can't remember the defensive coordinator they tried that under. Boy, you get that 3-4, man, you got to have a show enough nose tackle. You can't run the 3-4 without a nose tackle, man. He got to be show enough. I mean, this dude got to be basically taking up two spots. He got to take up two blocks. You can't get just anybody doing that 3-4 defense. That 3-4 defense really requires a GM who knows what he's doing. And we're talking about Jerry Jones. That's pretty tough. Good night. I got to get dialysis tomorrow. Okay, Jameson. Catch us on the replay if you got to go. What's going on, Freddie? Hello, G. How things going? Good. Hope everything's well with you. Nisi said, this team is Hollywood, and it looks like it. Yep. That 90s team could be Hollywood because they were killing teams. Man, that 90s Cowboys team remind me of how we used to operate when I was young. When I was younger, we would go party all night long. And I mean party. We get up on Monday morning with 2 hours of sleep. Going to work, working the cheese cutter, working the dice machine. I mean, we doing everything. No big deal. That's how we rolled. We partied hard. We worked hard. No problem. Those 90s Cowboys, man, they win a game, go party all night long. Lionel Richie, all night long, go party. And still be kicking butt and taking names. They can't do it in this one. Yeah, Jerry, they're pretty big, aren't they? Yeah, you got to have a big boy in that middle. You're going to run that 3-4, man. And I don't know if I just don't trust this team. You think about it. They've had a hard time just finding a nose tackle in the defense. I mean, they can't even find guys in the middle now. I mean, somebody mentioned it. I saw it on X. And I'll be honest with you. The Cowboys, they draft pretty good. But I question their last two drafts. We just got to let them play out. I really don't know what they're going to be. They haven't been drafting well lately. They haven't. The Schoonmaker pick, that was crazy to me at number 2. Schoonmaker at number 2? That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that Dallas draft, man, this thing has been nuts. This thing has absolutely been nuts. And so I just don't know about them in the draft. It's been so hit and miss. I mean, I don't know if I even trust them in the draft. We're going to go into this we're going to go into this Jerry Jones interview. I'm queuing it up. Hold on just a second. Okay. So it's ironic. We're about to pick up Jerry Jones on the controversy. We're about to pick up Jerry Jones on the controversy about Micah Parsons. And the problem with this is Jerry is trying to do damage control. But let's just be honest. The problem is Micah Parsons talks too much. He needs to do a little bit less talking, because if you were not doing this talking, then other folk wouldn't be talking. But Micah Parsons, he's his own worst enemy. And so he has to come back and clean up his words talking about what he didn't mean. But it is what it is. And so let's hear again. Let's hear Jerry. Jerry is about to apologize, or he's about to try to fix up what Micah Parsons said. Let's roll it.
105.3 The Fan. Did you have a problem with Micah Parsons' comments regarding Mike McCarthy after the game, saying, paraphrasing, Mike can leave when he does leave. He can go coach wherever he wants to. He's really playing for guys like Zach who have put more work in than Mike McCarthy has. Did you have a problem with those comments?
I'm not a good evaluator here for you. You say, well, do you personally have a problem? Do you think, and I'm smiling a little bit if we can this morning, do you think I've ever had any thing interpreted in a way that I probably said it that way, that 99% of the people would interpret it, but it's a whoops, and I didn't mean it to sound that way. Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. I've had that happen a lot, as you well know. And so I know those kinds of things happen. I know that his deference, and I'm serious about this is a fact. It was not meant, no matter how it sounded, it was not meant as a critique of the coaches or the coach. It was meant as a concern for the veteran players, such as Zach Martin, that might not have that much more in their career left. And it meant as a concern to them because they don't have the length of time to right the ship as much as a player like Micah or the younger players. That's how it was meant. There's no doubt in my mind it was meant that way. There's no game. Mike does not feel, and Micah does not feel a lack of appreciation for, of all people, our head coach, Mike. Micah does. Getting my Micahs and Micahs messed up. But that's just not the case. I can tell you for a fact that is not the case. And I visited extensively with everybody involved here. That is not the case. It was an expression of being more concerned about a teammate. Players in there. And it's really informing to know that they have sensitivity about guys that are at the end of their careers. And, of course, Zach Martin has been an influence on that team out there to a large degree. And he would, and a young player like Micah, Zach Martin would have statue of coaching caliber. So he was a concern for him. But believe you me, he does understand completely and is sensitive about the fact that the coaches are having to deal and wear what they're wearing.
Jerry Jones here on the Fan, and we agree with your
I'm about to destroy what Jerry Jones said. I'm going to destroy what Micah Parsons is trying to backtrack on. If I was playing a lawyer,
we thought it was,
and you were to tell me this whole spiel, and they're about to say they didn't take it the way Micah Parsons. So watch what's being said. They didn't take it the way he said it. Hold on a second. What other way are we to take it other than how he said it? Y'all ready for me to show you where this is stupid and how what they're saying don't make sense? Has anybody checked the wire today? Is Mike McCarthy fired? Y'all let me know. Is Mike McCarthy fired? Has it been said by Jerry Jones that Mike McCarthy is not coming back? Has Mike McCarthy resigned? Anybody checked? Has Mike McCarthy said, I'm no longer going to coach the Dallas Cowboys? So we have three scenarios out of the way. He hasn't resigned. He's not fired. Jerry hasn't even said he's not going to extend his contract. Y'all ready? So why is Micah Parsons talking like he's going to be gone? Why is he talking like Micah? Why is he talking like Mike McCarthy is going to be gone? He said Mike McCarthy can go anywhere and find a job. With the job he's doing in Dallas, which is a repeat of what he did in the year he got fired with the Packers. You're telling me he can go anywhere and find a job? Why are you saying he can go anywhere and find a job? Isn't he doing a good job with the Cowboys? Word salad don't work with me. Word salad don't work with me. You can tell me how you meant that all day long. Jerry, you can fix that up. Because, Jerry, you got to tell me. Isn't it strange, y'all? Y'all ready for something else that's absolutely ironic? Do y'all remember just 2 weeks ago? Do y'all remember just 2 weeks ago that Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs were on their podcast? And they gave their top 10 quarterbacks. Y'all remember that? And they left Dak Prescott off the list? Kind of strange that Jerry Jones didn't see fit to go talk to Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs about that. Anybody heard Jerry Jones say that he sought out both parties? Anybody heard Jerry Jones say, I sought out Trayvon Diggs, I sought out Micah Parsons, I sought out Dak Prescott, and I want y'all to know they have the utmost respect for Dak Prescott. They think he's the best quarterback, top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league. Anybody hear that conversation? You're a liar, Jerry. Every single time. I'll catch you in a lie. Because Jerry Jones, hey, Micah, hold on a second. I mean, we haven't got rid of. You don't want to let on like we're getting rid of Mike, because that's exactly how Micah Parsons is letting on. Is that not how he's letting on, y'all? He's letting on like Mike McCarthy is already out the door. No, we're going to take it like he said it. See, I'm going to listen to how he said it. I'm listening to how he said it. He's making the assumption, y'all, that many of us are making. He's making the assumption that he's out of here. That's what he's talking like. It ain't got nothing to do with animosity. We don't care about no animosity. I'm sure there's no animosity. I'm sure there's not. But Micah Parsons, in his mind, Mike McCarthy is gone. Do you talk about a coach who's in the first year of his deal? Do you talk about a coach in the second year of his deal, of a 5-year deal? He's winning games. Y'all in the playoffs, and there's someone getting ready to leave? Does anyone say, hey, the head coach can go anywhere he wants to? Nope. No one talks like that. No one talks like that unless everyone is on a wavelength of this may be Mike McCarthy's last year. I think Micah Parsons is somewhere in that mindset too. He's somewhere in that mindset too. And that's why he's saying what he's saying. Well, he can go anywhere and find a job. Anybody on your team said he's going to find a job? That's why Jerry wanted to go talk to Micah Parsons. And it's strange to me. It's absolutely strange to me. Call me crazy. I didn't hear Micah Parsons coming out and addressing what they were saying about Dak Prescott on all the 3- and 4-letter networks. I didn't see him come out and address that. I didn't see Mike McCarthy come out and address that. All I heard him and Jerry Jones flapping their gums about was how good Cooper Rush is, and then Cooper Rush got ran smooth over. And now we're going to start him again talking about, well, it's not, he played a lot better. You about to see something. Boy, we about to watch the Dallas Cowboys get stomped in so many different ways. We're going to become numb to it. I bet you by the 4th game, we're going to be laughing. We'll be laughing after the Washington Commanders game. Because Dan Quinn going to show y'all what Cooper Rush really is. Mid-pack, backup quarterback, great guy, smart in the books, weak arm. Very weak arm. Can he make some throws? Yes, weak arm. And don't tell me he can get the ball out quick. Jerry talking about his feet. I mean, he wasn't moving his feet like he normally do. I wonder what was causing that, Jerry. Was it the competition? Because that's what happens when you play competition. That's what your other quarterback, that's what Dak Prescott was covering up. Those deficiencies in your offensive line. Those deficiencies in the lack of your picking players, your team picking players. Your coach's ineptness at calling plays, refusing. Everybody now, I've been saying this for weeks. Now I'm seeing everybody all of a sudden talking about, I was wrong about Rico Dowdle. He running his butt off. You don't say. I've been saying it. It's not that we can't run. We got a coach who's warring with the owner. He's mad. He's on his last season. He's mad. He went 12-win seasons, 3 seasons in a row. And then the coach says, you on your 5th season, and I'm going to blow up the team that got you to the playoffs, and I'm not going to give you anybody else. You're going to do you're going to do more with less, Mike McCarthy. The same thing I'm going to do with Dak Prescott. Laughing at Jerry Jones. You out here defending Mike McCarthy, defending Cooper Rush, defending Micah Parsons. I mean, defending everybody. Meanwhile, your dumb self, I'm going to call it dumb because this is dumb to me. You signed Dak Prescott to an unprecedented, historical $231 million guaranteed deal. And of everyone to be taking up for, he's the one you keep throwing under the bus, rolling over, backing up, and you never defend him. There's something wrong there. I'm sorry, where I come from, I'm not paying a man $231 million guaranteed. The face of my franchise. If there's anybody that I'm going to be trying to build teams around, if there's anybody that I'm going to be acquiescing to, if there's anybody that I'm going to be catering to, I am going to be telling the whole team, that man right there, that's your leader. That's what I'm telling folk. That's your leader. I think Micah still ended up insulting Rex Ryan in his response. We're going to look at that. Where is the media training for some of these guys? I guess Jerry don't prioritize that. Purple Soul, you didn't hear what Jerry was saying? I said this weeks ago. He likes Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is just like Jerry Jones. He loves it. Y'all hadn't noticed Micah Parsons love being in front of a microphone. He loves it. He relishes in it. Why do you think he's got a podcast during the football season and the owner is not saying anything about it? Let me tell y'all something. I bet you this. Mike McCarthy can't say anything about it. How much y'all bet? If Mike McCarthy had any control on this team, he would tell Micah Parsons, no more podcasting. I bet you he would. Even in his ineptness at calling plays. Revelation, what's going on? This is a country club, and Mint Julep's Cowboys on Belvedere. Come here. He said, come here, boy, girl, Micah Parsons. It's a country club. And the one man who's truly trying to work hard, it's the one man that's getting all of the criticism. No one criticizes anyone else like they criticize Dak Prescott. No one. It's all Dak's fault. With Dak, we're going to move the goalposts all over the place because he trash. But with Micah Parsons, oh, he's a great player. It's just this excuse. Oh, he's a great player. It's just this excuse. Y'all keep on talking about he's a great player. Micah Parsons is going to be the Justin Herbert on Dallas Cowboys team because I'm sorry. You look at his numbers. Down the end of the season last year, you look at his numbers in the playoffs. You look at his numbers this year. Micah Parsons has been very lackluster. He's very lackluster. And I don't care if it makes anyone mad. He is lackluster. And I'm sorry. I like Micah Parsons. I think he can be a great player. If Jerry will step out of the way, let the right coach come in here, and you let him tell Micah Parsons what to do, and you shut your mouth. Let somebody who knows how to run a team run the team. I'm gonna debate you on this revelation. I'm gonna rename the country club because I'm telling you where this started. This is the Barry Switzer Country Club. That's when this team got like this. It's the Barry Switzer Club. It's the Barry Switzer Country Club, sponsored by Jerry Jones. It's Jerry's world. But he showed you what kind of culture he wanted on this team. This team still stinks of Barry Switzer. Coaches that just stand around and let players do whatever the heck they want to do. And that's why you can't have a dog on this team. You can't have a dog like Dak Prescott was in that rookie season. You can't have a dog getting in CeeDee Lamb's face. You can't have a dog getting in Micah Parsons' face, because if the dog get in people's face, then here come the owner talking about, okay, let's settle down. Can we all just get along? Losing is okay. Look what your contracts are. You're getting paid. Be happy with getting paid. You're going to have the tax. There's no state tax in the state of Texas. You're going to get more money. Look at all the endorsements you get for being a Dallas Cowboy. Look at what your career is going to be when you finish with the Cowboys. Look at Romo. Look at Aikman. Look at Dion. All of these players, that's what they have to offer you. It's a country club mentality. It's a 53 brand mentality. It's a build your brand mentality. It is a advertising agent mentality. It's an advertising agency mentality. Everything you do, I need you to advertise the team. You know what's wrong with Dak Prescott? He only wants to advertise the team on the field, but the team around him don't perform. He gets all the blame. Where was Micah Parsons in that Green Bay game? Where was he? Where was he in that game? I bet you he didn't lay a glove on Jordan Love. Where was Trayvon Diggs? Where was he? Where are these players? Where are these players at? Where are they? I'm telling y'all, everything you're watching with this situation right here, it's everything wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. It's everything wrong with them. Everything wrong with them. It is a crying shame that Jerry Jones, he saw fit. I've talked all the part. Well, Jerry, if it's not that serious, y'all see the hypocrisy? Well, Jerry, if you knew what he meant, if you knew what Micah Parsons meant, if Mike McCarthy knew what he meant, why did you have to go talk to him? Because Micah Parsons has been flapping his gum the whole season. He's been saying stuff that he probably shouldn't have been saying the whole season. And I didn't see any time that you said I need to go talk to him. Jay Beal, is that not the point I'm making? Micah Parsons was talking about Mike McCarthy in the past tense. And that's why Jerry had to go say something. Because Jerry don't want Micah talking about Mike McCarthy in the past tense yet. He don't want him talking like that. Because Jerry is putting up a facade that we're still trying to win, and Cooper Rush gives us the best chance to win. Stevie Wonder had that game on listening to it and said, ain't no way, I don't know who that Cooper Rush kid is, but there is no way they're going to win with that guy. Man, this is crazy talk. It's crazy talk. Parsons for Devontae Smith, 2025 first round draft pick, 2025 third round Philly cheesesteak. Man, I'm telling you, no cap. They missed a golden opportunity. But Jerry don't want to trade him. Jerry don't want to trade him. You know why? He's just like him. He's just like him. Micah Parsons is going to have to learn. And I hope he gets an opportunity. He's young. Hope he gets an opportunity. But Micah Parsons may be one of the greatest waste of talents that we've seen in a long time if something don't change on this Dallas Cowboy team. Because if Dallas signs him, they're going to sign him in his prime. He's going to be in his prime. And he's going to be around here. He'll do a few good things. He'll do a few great things. But in the grand scheme of things, he's going to be an underachiever. Nisi said too many people talking with the owner. Jerry needs to use the chain of command. He welcomes the disrespect of one Rain Dakota Prescott because Rain Dakota Prescott put him in a headlock. Put him in a headlock. Y'all think I'm talking crazy. Some folks don't understand. They think I'm talking crazy. I'm talking football. Dak Prescott put Jerry Jones in a headlock, y'all. You know how I know? There's no way you negotiate Dak Prescott's not this deal, but the last deal with your ankle twisted backwards unless you can go to Jerry Jones and say, you either going to pay me or I got this team, and I got this team. Folks don't understand what negotiating is. You got to have something to negotiate with. You got to have something. Y'all see how Jerry Jones disrespects this man? I think Cooper Rush is similar. We can do everything that we can do with Dak on the field. We can bring out the whole repertoire. And now he's doubling down. That's not the Cooper Rush that we know. He just had a bad game, a bad day. He gonna play better in the future. Miss me, Jerry. This is nonsense. But you know what happened to him again? Dak Prescott said, okay, I'll fix you. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to have an MVP season, even though they're going to rob me of it with Lamar Jackson. I'm going to have an MVP season. I'm going to be second team All-Pro. I'm going to take us again to 12-5. Unfortunately, he couldn't overcome not having a run game. He couldn't overcome not stopping the run. But Dak Prescott still put up enough credentials. I wants my money, Jerry. I wants my money. I wants my money, Jerry, because I'm not playing for this team and taking the abuse that you give me and the abuse that you allow the players to give me and the abuse you allow the media to give me and the abuse of the 25% toxic fan base of the Dallas Cowboys. I refuse to play here, Jerry, on a discount. Miss me. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what these folk talking about. I don't care if Dak Prescott is trash of trash and owns the trash company. He ain't getting paid enough to play here. He ain't getting paid enough to put up with this. If Dak win, it's going to be in spite of this owner. I'm telling y'all something. I'm going to say it. If Dak Prescott gets a Super Bowl on this team, I'm sorry. Dak Prescott is going to go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history if you're going to win a Super Bowl on this team. Because you have to overcome the media. You have to overcome the owner. You have to overcome the coach. You have to overcome your own team. And then you got to overcome the opponent. Miss me. You better pay me. I'm not playing on this team. You don't pay me. You're not paying me enough money. Folks talking about Dak Prescott overpaid. Dak Prescott is severely underpaid. You gotta win with this. Miss me. Patrick Mahomes will retire on this team. He retired on this team. There's no way if you want to win, man, you be begging for it. You would be begging. My problem with Dak Prescott, he's just like many of us. Y'all know why y'all on here? Y'all know why y'all on here? Because I done heard many of y'all say it. I done heard many of y'all say it. Y'all love the Dallas Cowboys. You know what Dak Prescott's problem is? Dak Prescott loves the Dallas Cowboys. There's no other way to explain it. Dak Prescott said this was his childhood team. I can remember as a child, I actually had my mom to go and buy me a Dallas Cowboy, an official Dallas Cowboy football suit for Christmas. It wasn't those kind that come in the cheap box. You know, you get those kind for like $40, $50 and the pads aren't even real. I mean, you better not even fall on the floor in the shoulder pads or you're probably going to break a collarbone. My mom went out and bought me a real Dallas Cowboy football suit, and it cost almost $300, made by top of the line the manufacturers of that time. I was a fan. I didn't play. I didn't get a chance to play in it. I mean, you're not going to play outside with the other kids. You're not going to play outside with the other kids in pads, and they're not in pads. I mean, you're not going to get that opportunity. But I'm a fan. And I could only imagine, y'all, if I had the talent of one Dak Prescott, and my talent, even when everyone said I couldn't do it, and I did it in high school, I did it in college, I did it now, I'm in the pros, and now I got a chance to play for the team that I love. Be pretty hard for me to leave too. You know how I know? Because none of us fans have left. How many of us fans are still fans? And we're sitting here knowing that our owner is an absolute atrocity. We're still fans. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, and people do not understand this about Dak Prescott. And I'm telling you, people do not understand the business of football. For all you folk who say Dak is trash, if Dak is trash, he doesn't get to negotiate a $231 million deal. He don't. Because if you think that's true, for all you folk who say he trash, I need you to go in your job tomorrow, wherever you work, whether you work at McDonald's or a Fortune 500 company, I need you to walk in your job right now and say, I demand you make me the highest paid worker at this job. Tell them. Because you said Dak Prescott is trash. So you obviously better at your job than Dak is at his job. You walk into your job and say, I want to be the highest paid player. Okay, well, what make you think you should be the highest paid player, Susie? What make you think you should be the highest paid worker at the job, Susie? Joe, what make you, because I just think I am, because I'm good. I'm good at what I do. I'm the best at what I do. Okay, well, now you're going to have to tell us where's the proof? What is going to make us pay you this money? I can tell you what made them pay Dak Prescott that money. Because Todd Francis had a whole list of teams that was ready to take Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott had the opportunity of a lifetime. Even though this 25%, I say, toxic fan base that don't like Dak Prescott. For all of y'all who don't like Dak Prescott, to say he only signed with the Dallas Cowboys for the money. Troy Aikman said it. No. Dak Prescott's a great quarterback. He's going to get the money whether it be here or the Dallas Cowboys, whether it be in Dallas or somewhere else. Dak is going to get his money. Folk don't understand what's going on here. They don't. And you got to be, I'm telling you, Dak is only playing on this team the same reason why we're following this team. He loves this team. Michael, middle name Parsons, last name Jones. Did y'all hear what Jerry said? Jerry said, I'm smiling. What? What do you mean you're smiling? They're asking you about what Micah Parsons said and you're smiling? Oh, I know why you're smiling. Because you said, how many things have I said that people have taken out of context? You mean when you told those guys on the radio, at least it sounded like you told them that you could find somebody else to interview you. That's what it sounded like to me. You're talking about those times? Wait a minute, y'all. Maybe it's when Jerry Jones told us in the offseason that I'm all in. Maybe it was that time, Jerry, that you said something and we took what you said at face value and you knew what you were talking about, but we didn't know what you were talking about. But now we see what you're talking about. You're talking about those times, Jerry? He likes Micah Parsons. He likes all the foolishness, y'all. I said it before, I say it again. He likes the foolishness. He likes it. That's why he's smiling. He's smiling like a father who looks at his son and say, he's a chip off the old block. That's why he's smiling. That's why he's smiling. No cap, you might go catch fire all the facts you spit. Now, I'm just telling us what we're watching. We're watching something, no cap, it's insane. We are watching a phenomenon that no other quarterback. Y'all don't understand. If you're Dak Prescott, what this man is going through, because he's a fan just like y'all. And many of us are saying we're going crazy over what Jerry Jones is doing. I'm telling y'all, Dak Prescott did not stay with the Dallas Cowboys because of the money and winning, because he was going to get the money. And if he wanted to lose, he could have got the money and lost with the Las Vegas Raiders. No, he wanted to stay here. So now he's going to get what comes along with staying here. He's going to have to take this type of mess. Best believe our fan base don't appreciate Dak, but real football coaches and players recognize his talent. Do y'all know Mike Tomlin was ready for Dak Prescott? Mike Tomlin was ready. He was ready. Mike Tomlin would have went to the Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. And I'm going to tell you somebody else, I don't care what anyone says. I promise y'all, if Dak Prescott would have hit that free agency market, Brock Purdy wasn't safe. Brock Purdy wasn't safe. There were going to be teams that were going to be moving things around if Dak Prescott would have hit that free agency market. I promise you. There are some people that wouldn't have got signed if Dak Prescott would have hit that free agency market. They wouldn't have. I could only imagine the Tua Tagovailoas. I don't think they're getting signed. I don't. Can Cooper Rush even play Pee Wee football? I'm going to show you something. They're talking about some crazy stuff right now. J. Bill, you're right. Jimmy was the architect. If Dak could win a ring in Dallas, he would go down as the greatest Cowboy of all time and would be the face of the NFL over Mahomes. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Because to win it in this climate, man, Jose doesn't defend Dak. Doesn't. He defends everybody but Dak. Yep, Lewis, he is loyal to a fault. Very true, sir. I'm telling you. If I'm Dak, I'm out of here. I would have been out of here. Gary Brandt says, I don't think there is a friction between Mike McCarthy and Micah Parsons. I just think Micah said something that could have been taken as throwing shade, but I don't think he meant anything by it. No, Gary, I don't think he's throwing shade. I think he's spitting fact. That's the part I'm bringing out. Micah is speaking like all of us are thinking. That's why he said, Mike McCarthy can find a job anywhere. You don't talk like that about somebody who is not on his way out. You're not going to ask them about a second. You hire Bill Belichick. Someone's going to say, well, Bill can find a job anywhere. They're not going to say that. Because the question is even being asked in a manner of, Mike McCarthy is on his way out of this piece. That's why Jerry called him. Because what he said is very revealing. It's the only reason, because if it's nothing, why does Jerry call him? He didn't call him about the Dak stuff. He didn't call him about any of the other things that he's been saying this year. I've never heard Jerry say, I called him about the I've never heard him say anything about calling Micah Parsons. And you have to overcome your so-called fans. Yep, that only support when things are going good. Otherwise, all they do is give you criticism, insult you, and go as far as make jokes over your mom. Man, let me tell you something. These people, boy. Folks who said they glad this man's mom died. Some people were saying, off yourself like your brother did. Whew, man. Boy, I don't see how people sleep at night. This generation different. I don't see how you sleep at night saying stuff like that. The moment they go say that, they're getting their pink slip. Yep. And that's why they don't do it. The 100% fan loves Dak. He's been the best since Aikman. Yep, no doubt. Sports Junkie said, you ain't doing nothing but spitting facts. Appreciate it. I'm just telling this, man, Jerry is up here tripping. He may be the most paid, but he is the hardest work on the team talking about Dak. I disagree. He is the hardest work on the team. You know how I know? Because everybody says it. Everybody says it. I don't know where you're getting that from, J. Bill. Everybody says it. Jerry Jones has said it. Mike McCarthy has said it. Cooper Rush has said it. Everybody on this team know Dak Prescott is the hardest working player on this team, bar none. Bar none. You don't be the hardest working player on the team. You can't say stuff what Dak was saying then. What are you doing when you're not on the field? J. Bill, I don't know where you're getting that from. Maybe you're getting that from, you're saying it's not translating on the field. I don't know what you're saying. But anybody will tell you this is the hardest working man on this team. He's the first one in the building. He's the last one to leave. CeeDee Lamb will tell you. Everyone will tell you. Dak Prescott is the hardest worker on the Dallas Cowboys team. He is. Jerry, Mike, and Trayvon. Isn't it strange? All smiling with this trash team. It's crazy. It's crazy. Facts, Nisi. And I think this is one of the reasons why. I think Dak was trying his best to stay. What's going on, Angie? Dak was trying his best to stay. But Dak probably just finally said, enough's enough. This is a circus. This is a circus. Martin said I had my reserves when he said that because he hadn't done anything in the last 3 or 4 seasons in free agency. So I really had to see what he and his son was going to do, and right on schedule, nothing. And I'm telling y'all, prepare yourselves. I'm not going to say that he's getting rid of Mike McCarthy until Mike McCarthy walks out the building like Jimmy Johnson did. Because Jerry Jones, to me, has done nothing but give Mike McCarthy every excuse for winning, because he keeps prefacing every conversation with, you can blame that on me. You can blame that on me. He keeps saying it and saying it over and over again. So I'm just not believing it. I'm just not believing it. He said it was. He said. Freddie says once again, put Dak in KC, and Dak won't win a ring. He wins rings more than one. You better believe he does. Who's going to play Sunday, G? Danny, what's going on? They better not dare play Will Grier. I'm telling y'all now. They better not dare play Will Grier. I'm telling y'all. Will Grier will mess that draft up. Will Grier will mess that draft up. Mike McCarthy will literally have to sabotage Will Grier. Because I'm telling y'all something. Will Grier got some wheels on him. Will Grier got some wheels on him. Will Grier will get away from you. He'll run the ball. He can throw the ball. He's got a little bit familiarity with this. When Dak Prescott called them plays, I'm just telling us. Hey, man, I'm telling us. If we lose to the New York Giants, Mike McCarthy will lose the locker. He's already lost the locker room. He never had it. Jerry Jones got it. I do feel bad for Dak. I love Dak's story. He's a very inspirational player that everyone should look up to. Came from nothing to the Cowboys, losing his family members, and still has to keep going. That's tough, Jay. That's tough. Parsons, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You better say it, Frederick. Amen, Walls. People are cold and cruel. Very. I'm telling us. Let's listen to the rest of what Jerry says, because we're going to come back to the Micah Parsons conversation. We're about to hit the second hour. We're going to listen to what he says next, because I'm going to show y'all in this conversation right here. Jerry Jones tells you everything that's wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. Watch this.
But it did add to the quote-unquote noise, and I'm curious, and we know how you feel about it in terms of the coverage, Jerry, and you guys are all over, as always, because of this story and more. When is the last time that you said, man, there is actually too much noise? There's too much of a circus a little bit. Have you ever thought it? And what do you say to those who think there is too much, that the Cowboys are, a marketing firm, it's entertainment, and then football?
Well, you can imagine that when the noise is substantiated, or the noise, I use that word, and I'm not accidentally using, but when we have our state that we have, then the fact that all of the noise has negative tints to it, the negative is what is happening. That's what we're doing. That's why it is happening. Now, the fact that that noise is there, I would say, because we are as out front as we are as a team and an organization, then you're going to have a louder and more noise that's negative when you're not playing well. That's a given. And it drifts over into all areas of the look at what the Cowboys are, the look of what sports is, the look of what football is. And so without arm waving here this morning, nothing about this surprises me at all. And again, I can say it. I'm not saying it in any way. But this is small potatoes compared to what some of the things I've been through over the years with the Cowboys.
Did Jerry Jones answer the question? The question was, Jerry, do you ever feel like the noise is too much around the team. Did y'all hear the question clearly? Because I don't think Jerry Jones heard the question, but I do think Jerry Jones heard the question. But again, he wants to give us word salad. And so Jerry Jones is going to avoid answering the question by saying, I've seen worse. I've dealt with worse on the Dallas Cowboys, so this is nothing. Jerry is lying because social media wasn't around in the 90s. Social media wasn't around when they were 0-16, 1-15, and that team is building its way up. Social media now is a monster. And so everything travels quicker. Everything travels quicker. It's instantaneous. There's nothing left to the imagination no more. And Jerry Jones just said without saying, I never think the noise is too much. I never think the noise is too much. How can you think the noise is too much when you're the one making all the noise? You're making all the noise. Of course the noise doesn't bother you. Do we not realize Jerry Jones is in the center of all the noise? Every time there's noise, Jerry gets involved. Because even with this Micah Parsons and Mike McCarthy thing, what does he do? He becomes a part of the noise now. And now he's defending a player that's not even up under contract. I'm sorry, Micah said what he said. We don't have to agree with it. We don't have to agree with what he meant. Micah said what he said. And now Micah Parsons is backtracking left and right. But where Micah Parsons messed up, he went too far with what he said. When he said, and I'm going to let you hear what he said, Micah Parsons is the one who went too far with this. Nobody asked Micah Parsons. Nobody asked Micah Parsons to give his 2 cents. I mean, they asked him a simple question. It was him who decided to take it to the next level. And so because he said too much and then get mad when someone starts taking what he said to heart, it is what it is. It is what it is. Micah Parsons said what he said. He got to live with it. Okay, let's see here. I got it muted, unmuted. Let's see. All right, let's listen to what Micah Parsons said.
What do you tell about whether Mike will be the coach?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. But guys, I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last show on their way out. Because
All right, Jerry,
that's what I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to.
And see, this is the problem right here. Micah Parsons should have simply stopped at, that's above my pay grade. End it. End it. Stop right there. But the telling phrase was Mike McCarthy. Let's see.
Win games, and I kind of feel bad for this guy.
What's the sentiment in the locker room, and what do you tell about whether Mike will be the coach?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. But guys,
Why? How can Mike go and coach wherever he wants to? So in order for Mike to go coach wherever he wants to, y'all, what has to happen? You want to know why Jerry Jones got involved? What has to happen for Mike McCarthy to go coach where he wants to? What has to happen in order for Mike McCarthy? Number one, Mike McCarthy ain't going to coach where he want to. Ain't nobody want Mike McCarthy. I'm just being real. I don't know who would want Mike McCarthy at this point. I really don't. Who would want him? So number one, that's a lie. Number two, how does he get to go where he wants? Unless you're anticipating he's not going to have a job. That's why Jerry Jones got involved. Jerry Jones said, hold on, Mike. Hold on. Now you want to say, watch what you're saying. Now you want to say, be careful what you're saying. Jerry, why did you have to check and see if there was a problem with Mike McCarthy, between Mike McCarthy and Micah Parsons? Why'd you have to check on that, Jerry? You know there's not necessarily a problem. You have a problem with what he said. That he can go wherever he wants to and find a job. But that's not the part. He could have stopped right here even. Nah, he not going to stop right here. Now he going to get even sillier in the rest of his comment. Watch this.
Kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last show on their way out. Because that's what I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work.
No. Wait. See, right here, he could have stopped with, I want to hold up a trophy for these guys. He could have stopped right there, couldn't he, y'all? He could have stopped right there. Now, I'm going to show you what got these guys hot who are now going to respond to him. Because didn't I say, let me say it after this. Just listen to him.
Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for. You guys were.
Y'all want to know why Jerry Jones called him? That statement right there too. Hold on a second. Did I not say this last night? And I'm going to let you hear why Rex Ryan is going to go nuclear on Micah Parsons. Anybody who knows anything about coaching, even on the high school level, people used to say to me sometimes, you ought to be a high school coach. I would have did decently as a high school coach. But I just like family time too much. That's just not my thing. I like family time too much. In order to be a coach, did I not say last night, in order to be a coach, folk don't understand what head coaches are doing. Head coaches are spending 14, 15, 16 hours a day, especially during the season. It's just football. Morning to night. You get up, football. You go to sleep, football. You get up, football. Hold on a second. You said it was echoing. Which one? Which one? The iPad? Okay, I think you're talking about the iPad. I'm telling us, morning and night. These guys spend so much time preparing for games. And when Micah Parsons says Zach Martin has put in more work than Mike McCarthy, what is he saying? Is he saying that based on what he's seeing on the field? What is he saying? Is he saying that in general? But I don't think you make that statement. I don't think that's a statement that you make, because don't compare what a player is doing necessarily to a coach is doing. So don't even make that statement. Just leave that statement totally alone. That's all you have to do, Mike. Leave that statement alone. But Mike made statements in there. And those statements, whether he accepts those statements or not, those statements were very, very disrespectful. They were very disrespectful. He should have left those alone. So watch this. We're going to come back to Micah Parsons here in just a moment. But I don't want to come back to the Jerry interview. I want to finish because I'm going to show you. This is the epitome, I think. I think this is the last question. This is the epitome of what's wrong with this team.
We had fun at the beginning. We talked. Remember about how strong your jaw is. So here comes the here comes the left hook from the fans this morning. The biggest topic, the biggest topic they're asking about, of course, is the sunlight coming through the stadium. That was a big topic after the game. CeeDee Lamb believed he missed out on a touchdown on Sunday because that, in fact, his exact quote afterwards was yes, 1,000% when asked if he'd be in favor of curtains being installed. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, y'all saying y'all can't hear what it was Jerry. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? All right, can y'all hear me? I was listening we're listening to the Jerry Jones thing. Can y'all hear me? Let's see here. I don't see anything I pushed. All right, can y'all hear me now? Y'all getting any sound? Okay. All right. Now, can y'all hear Jerry? Let me play Jerry. Now, I want you to think about this conversation they're having. This conversation they're having is literally insane. The conversation that they're having is Jerry Jones is basically saying, in case y'all couldn't hear it, Jerry Jones is basically saying that he feels like it's okay that the sun is coming through the stadium. Jerry says he has no problem with it. No problem with the sun coming through the stadium. He's tripling and quadrupling down. He is tripling and quadrupling down because he's saying that the curtains are supposed to be home field advantage and supposed to look like natural sun coming through the stadium. There's something wrong with Jerry Jones. He would rather cost his own team football games. Okay, yeah, that's what I was figuring. Yeah. He would rather cause his own team to lose football games than to just close the curtains. How simple is that, y'all? How simple is it to just close the curtains? It is absolutely insane when you think about what we're talking about. Closing the curtains. And to be somebody that's interviewing Jerry Jones, you got to have a whole lot of patience. I mean, you really do. You have to have a whole lot of patience because I know these guys are looking at him like he's absolutely crazy. How is the sunlight coming through the windows a natural element of football? How is it? It's crazy. I don't understand it. Yeah, I got an audio problem going on with my, I don't know what's going on. There's an audio problem going on with the Jerry Jones thing. I can hear it, but y'all can't hear it. So, yeah, y'all can't hear it. Don't understand that it's not registered. I was noticing that just now. But it's crazy when you think about it. That Jerry Jones is absolutely this deaf. That Jerry Jones think what he's saying makes sense. It doesn't make sense. And so this is why I'm telling y'all, everything that we're listening to, everything that we're talking about this team, this is the problem. And something as simple. Y'all think about this. Something as simple as closing the curtains. How do you not do something as simple as that? If you know that's hurting your team, how do you not do something as simple as close the curtains? But Jerry Jones is tone deaf. He's absolutely tone deaf, and he's not listening.
The fantastic thing about Hand and Stone is there's such a variety of massages to pick from. My massage therapist.
Advantage for us to know where the sun is. I don't want to change that.
Absolutely understand the aesthetic appeal of it. It does look like an outdoor stadium. But is this something that you think you have failed to capitalize on with a game plan?
Hold on just a second.
Sunlight coming through the stadium. That was a big topic after the game. CeeDee Lamb believed he missed out on a touchdown on Sunday because that, in fact, his exact quote afterwards was yes, 1,000% when asked if he'd be in favor of curtains being installed. What do you have to say to that?
All righty.
Well, I would say that this falls in that category we were just talking about. There's a lot to talk about. I don't believe anybody living believes that that game, what we need to work on. And that's what I meant being incredulous when somebody asked me about that. Of all of the things that we all need to improve, that is way down the list of improvement. All I can say is that stadium was, and in every way that you could put it out there as though it were open air, yet still being inside. It's the largest air-conditioned space in the world, the stadium. It has over 3 million cubic feet of air-conditioned space. My biggest thought when we were building it was don't have it not look like it's outdoors. Make it look like it's outdoors. And so all of the things that are a part of that out there is a concept as though you were sitting out there with no roof, no doors, no anything, and you're playing in the elements. Every venue has certain things that at certain ways and times in the contest can create an advantage. That really goes on the category of home field advantage. And so usually, and that's the case with us, that if there's a field, or in the case it's your home field, which it is of the Dallas Cowboys, it should be an advantage to the home team. So I don't want to adjust it for one reason, is because it is an advantage to us. Over the years, we've played 52 games that have anything to do with the time of year when that sun could be there, obviously eliminating night games and games where the sun is not, wouldn't be involved. But we've had 52 games. We've won the majority of them. But more important than anything, we know where, in basketball, we know where the dead spots are on the floor. That's our advantage. That should be our advantage. We get to play there more, and we get to have it as advantage. It has been an advantage for us to know where the sun is. I don't want to change that.
Absolutely understand the aesthetic appeal of it. It does look like an outdoor stadium. But is this something that you think you have failed to capitalize on with a game plan? Do you need to game plan for this each and every week? Well,
we do. We basically do. We get big time reports where that sun is going to be during the course of a game. Kellen Moore knew about it. He spent, I'm sure he spent a lot of time, their coordinator who used to be here, I'm sure he spent a lot of time planning and thinking about where the sun was going to be. You should. And I've seen balls caught with the receiver looking back into the sun out there. I've seen balls dropped. I saw Jason Witten drop a ball. But I've sure seen a lot of opposing teams drop some balls too. And so it's a part of it. One of the things that I'm emphasizing here is that we know that whether it's snow, rain, sleet, mud, we know that elements play a part of football. You play the game in the elements as long as it's safe for everybody concerned. And so you play it in the elements. This is our stadium's way of having elements. And we should play to that when it's appropriate. And we should win out because it is our home field. It's where an advantage. Our Texas Stadium used to have the field went lower on the outside near the boundaries, and in the end zones, it had a drop-off. There was 18-inch difference from the crest of the field to the outside of the field. Well, we got to where our players and quarterbacks and receivers knew that 18-inch drop-off was there, so you threw the ball accordingly, ran the route accordingly. Distant teams, forget about it, weren't used to adjusting on it, and we made that an advantage. It's so common in sports to have an advantage with your field or have an element of your field that can be a disadvantage, but because you're familiar with it, you have an advantage. I don't want to change that.
Jerry, last one for you here. Has there been a determination made on Dak having surgery?
Tomorrow.
A decision tomorrow?
And he'll have it there in New York. We had a good visit last night, and he wants to do that there, and he's got great medical doctors up there. It's a more common injury in hockey, and he's got doctors that are very familiar with how to repair that, and his prognosis is wonderful. It just means that we're not going to have him the rest of the year.
Jerry, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and go get.
You know, Freddie, I can see what you're saying. I guess my only problem is I had the same thought that Niecy had. Jerry, do you open the roof on a rainy day so that they can play in the elements? He mentions that it's the largest air-conditioned building in the world, I guess. You want to play in the elements? Turn the air conditioner off and open up the roof. You don't play in the snow. You don't do any of those things. You're arguing that and let's play the other side of it. I think they asked Jerry a really good question. So if we're saying this is a home field advantage, now let's look at what Freddie is saying. If this is literally a home field advantage, so Jerry is saying they actually practice with some type of light in the middle of the field to where they can simulate that light. And so you're basically telling me that if you're, watch this. I just thought about this when I said it. I'm going to tell you why this doesn't make sense. If you're facing the light, your quarterback can't see, but your wide receiver can. If your back is to the light, your quarterback can see, but your wide receiver can't. Do we see the flaw? How is it an advantage? So you're basically telling me that if you play on a day and the curtains are open and the sun is out, so you're telling me that no matter which end of the field you're on, you're going to have to adjust. It isn't an advantage really for anybody. It's really a flaw. Okay, how do you want it? Do you want it where the quarterback can't see, or do you want it where the wide receiver can't see? Which one is it? Jerry's not thinking when he's saying this. Which one is it? It's not only a disadvantage for your team, it's a disadvantage for both teams, and there is no advantage. There's no home field advantage of it. It's not an advantage. And that's why, CD, you think about it. They were not facing the sun. That's when it's supposed to be the advantage. So basically, if it's going to be an advantage for your team and the sun is at your back, then all of your plays have to be outside the hash marks. Nothing in the middle, because your wide receiver can't see in the middle. So that means either you want him to throw out routes, or you're going to roll him out to the right, or you're going to roll him out to the left, you're going to roll him out to the right. But either way, so now you're saying we got to play this sun regardless. We got to play it if it's at our back, wide receivers, all of your routes. I want you to think about, what do you take away from this team when you do this? So you're telling us that we now have to play everything outside to where it can be harder to make those throws, and we're going to give up all the seam routes. We're going to give up everything in the middle. We're going to give up all the crossing routes. Any crossing route in the middle, the quarterback has to wait, let that play develop until it gets out of the sun. Do we hear what we're saying? This makes no sense. That's not elemental. That's a design flaw. I said it yesterday. Someone talked about this. I never knew this. But all stadiums, with the exception of Texas Stadium, AT&T Stadium, stadiums are built north to south. No one decided that they were going to have this particular flaw. It's a flaw, and Jerry doesn't want to admit it. It's really a flaw. That's why Jerry said, what do you want us to do, tear down the stadium? You built it. I mean, you built it how you wanted it, but you built it in opposition of how every other stadium is built. That doesn't make sense. And when somebody goes against architectural sense, I can't give them credit for that. That doesn't make sense to me. Every stadium, y'all, at least from what I've been told, they're built north, south. So the sun, east, west, doesn't affect the game. No one does this. Jerry built his east, west. They build theirs north, south. why would you do this? If this is not going to be a football field, I understand it. It makes perfect sense to me. But if it's going to be a football field, I'm not going to give you credit. I'm not going to give you credit because you decided to do something opposite of everyone else and create a situation that you really didn't have to create, because in actuality, even if we play football outside, we're not going to play with the sun facing or at our backs. We're going to play to where the sun is coming from the side, if we can help it. I'm just not giving Jerry credit for that one. This is kind of crazy. Wait, I had to throw, Nisi, you said he threw him under the bus. 70s fan, you are correct, sir. Hold on a second. 70s fan, he said Jerry is the oldest snake oil Jerry is the oldest snake oil salesman in the building. In the world. Man, 70s, man. Jerry is trying to sell us on the fact that that's a design flaw he said he did on purpose. He might have did it on purpose, but I'm just wondering if anybody was talking to him. I just wonder if anybody said, hey, Jerry, you do know that most stadiums, you know, they're built, Jerry, north, south, so the sun don't come in east, west. And Jerry says, well, I want it to look like it's outdoors. Build it east, west. We'll turn it into a home field advantage. It's working against you because you're having to, I mean, who wants to take away the middle of the field in a noon game? A noon game? So to me, then you better have a show enough run game, because that means that you're going to run the ball pretty much, especially if the sun is facing the quarterback. And then if the sun is at my back, then we're going to strategically run all out routes. Man, that's tough treading right there. I'm just saying. Cam Chillin said Jerry can't think. He need to retire. Nisi said, I'm sorry, Freddie says, look, everyone back in the 60s and 70s before Dome Stadium team played in the heat, wind, rain, and no one complained. But these players, they want and need to have everything perfect. Freddie, I agree with what you're saying. But Jerry is bragging about a design flaw. No one builds their stadiums like Jerry built it, where it's vertically east-west. No one builds them like that. They build them north-south to where the sun comes in horizontally, so it doesn't affect the game. But Jerry is affecting the game in ways to where it's not an advantage to his team. It's a disadvantage. And it showed in CeeDee Lamb, because Cooper Rush, I think Cooper Rush is being rushed a little bit, and so he can't put it farther enough out in front of him to where maybe if it's a little further out, because it goes away from that sun, the ball maybe he can see it at the last minute and maybe grab it. But because it's directly in the sun, there was nothing he could do with it. There was nothing he can do with it. It's man, I don't know. I get you what you're saying, Freddie, but if you really want to have an advantage, open up the roof. Yep, he's too smart for his own good. Too smart for his own good. I mean, that's a tough one for me right there, Freddie. Freddie said I'm old school. Hey, it's all good. You all good. I'm just, when I heard how they design stadiums, that's when I realized, I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They said we can't make this stuff up. Welcome to the circus. Man, yep, it's a design flaw. I mean, because when I heard that, I was like, well, why would Jerry build it like that? Why would Jerry build it like that? That's just crazy. It's crazy. How hard is it to use curtains? They do it for all the events they hold there. Anybody that holds an event there, they don't want that natural outdoors look. They close the curtains. Jose, I guess, is extremely hard because he doesn't want to hit that button on the remote control. Man, I'm telling you, Jerry's straight tripping. Jerry is straight tripping up in here, man. And so I want to look at some more about this Micah Parsons issue, because it's strange to me, man, that if I'm not mistaken, let's see if we can catch it here. Mike McCarthy comes out and says something.
Amazon early holiday deals are here.
Woo! Sorry, I hope I didn't hurt your ears. Mike came out and said something about this.
Any comment?
Not today. I just couldn't help myself. Yeah. Go ahead, David.
Mike, Dallas Morning News. Do you take offense at what Micah Parsons said after the game?
I just couldn't help myself. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So let's hear Micah Parsons. Let's hear Mike McCarthy's response. They ask him about this, and so here's his response.
David.
Mike, Dallas Morning News. Do you take offense at what Micah Parsons said after the game, or do you just consider it part of when a team is playing like this, those type of comments are going to come out as the frustration of the moment?
Well, I think like anything with post-game remarks and really any remarks, when it does create questions for others in the locker room, something that I've always done, conversation has to happen. So, Mike and I had a conversation this morning about it, and handled those things as men should handle it. That wasn't his intent, and so that's something he can talk on. But the other part of it too is what comes out of this too, all the way around. Questions for others, and also I don't want to see my players get attacked also from the other side of this too. So we have so much more that we need to focus on, and that's really what we talk about pretty much throughout the day today. Is just we just got to keep it about football, bear down on the things we know we need to improve on, build off of some of the things that we did. Felt like we got better, throughout these games coming out of the bye. But these are the things that you need to eliminate from your culture. And just like anything, conversations bring resolution. So and I think this is an example of that.
You talked about that before, just to keep the focus on football, but there are the peripheral issues that come from losing, especially when expectations were above where you were. This is coming. Does it take more of your time to manage as you're in the midst of this?
Yeah, when you lose, when you're losing multiple games, definitely. I just look at how much time today's a great example. How much time I've spent on, Houston Texans. I think I'm on play 6 of the Detroit game. So, and that's what these types of things bring. And that's why, frankly, I think it's harder when you win. Handling success, to me, has always been the biggest challenge in this. We have a great opportunity to be in an adverse situation as a group of men to go do something people don't think we can do. And been there before, excited about it. Most of the times come out the other end, and that's what I'm focused on. So, but to get there, you got to, utilization of energy and all that application of how we want to unite and continue to work is important. So, I think all these guys, we all need to focus on our mental space, take care of ourselves, hug our families, because they're the ones that have to listen to most of this stuff. But we need to just keep it about football, because if we're not working on football, our opponent is an hour or two better than us already. So that's my message.
Clarence Hill.
Didn't I tell you? First time I heard that. I didn't get a chance to listen to it today. First time I heard it is with y'all. Didn't I tell you? If Mike McCarthy was being allowed to actually have some say-so on this team, can I translate to y'all what he just said? Micah Parsons, stop your podcast. Do y'all know this is the same stuff Dak Prescott's been saying the whole season? Dak Prescott's been telling us this stuff the whole season. Guys not focused on football. Guys not studying. What are they doing when they're not here, when they're not on the field? I know what Micah Parsons is doing. He's at the Bleacher Report trying to put together a podcast. Oh, I know what Trayvon Diggs is doing too. Rather than studying film and seeing how he can be in on more tackles, seeing how he can be a better defender. Rather than studying, what is he doing? Oh, he's on Micah Parsons' podcast. Dak Prescott's been saying this stuff. It's Dak who's the first one to expose. They're not practicing good. We need to practice harder. Mike McCarthy tried to clean it up. No, we need to practice better. No, he's right. You need to practice harder. Folk don't know where they're supposed to be. Dak Prescott has literally been spelling this out. Do y'all know that if Dak Prescott wanted to, Dak Prescott could have the biggest podcast probably in the NFL. If Dak would do it, I guarantee you he'd shut the internet down with a podcast. He would, because everybody would be glued to every word he's saying. They'd either be ready to go with him, they'd either be ready to criticize him. They'd either love him or they'd hate him. It would be the biggest podcast of any football player. But Dak is focused on football. Micah Parsons isn't focused on football. That's what Mike McCarthy is saying. And Mike McCarthy is saying something that I wish he'd have said before it involved him. He said, don't say things, do not say things that other people have to ask questions for. Did I not say that when he did the Dak Prescott thing? When your podcast starts bleeding into the locker room, when you're saying things on your podcast that now the players got to answer. Now the players got to answer to your mess. Now we got to answer the questions of, okay, what do you think about what Micah Parsons said? I don't want to focus on what Micah Parsons said on that stupid podcast. Micah Parsons, you want a podcast? Stop talking football. And if you're going to talk football, don't talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Don't talk about anything that's going to affect the Dallas Cowboys. But the problem is, how do you talk football without talking about anything that focuses on the Cowboys? Because everything involves them. Everything. Everything Micah Parsons says about football, I'm going to look at his team. I'm going to look at his team. If he says he gives his top 10 quarterbacks, then I'm going to look, did he pick Dak? It's amazing to me. I wish he would have said who are the top 10 defensive ends, but he didn't want to deal in his position because he knows he's not in it. I wish they would have dealt in the top 20 because we can't even say the top 10, the top 20 cornerbacks because Trayvon Diggs is not in it. Don't say things to where the team got to start answering. Don't talk about who's the best left tackle in football. Don't talk about who's the best right tackle in football. Don't talk about who has the best offensive line in football. Because once you start talking about the offensive line, now I got to say, man, what about your offensive line? This is what Mike McCarthy is saying. The same thing Dak has been saying. The more you focus on things outside of football, the less you focus on football. This is what's going to stop Micah Parsons from being great. And let me tell y'all something. I know a lot of people like to mention Micah Parsons in the same conversation with Lawrence Taylor. Folks don't understand something. Lawrence Taylor, with all of his problems, y'all, he was another one. He from the old school. Women, drugs, alcohol, partying all night. Boy, they telling stories about Lawrence Taylor. I'm just like, boy, I don't even see how you put up that stuff. Man, they talking about the Lawrence Taylor sometimes, if I'm not, I think it's Lawrence Taylor they're talking about. I mean, he was even admitting it. They say he'd be on the floor sometimes sleep. You know what's crazy, though? Lawrence Taylor knew where everybody was supposed to be. He knew every play. He said something that scared me. He said, I didn't know He said, I knew what everybody was supposed to do. I could tell the coaches everything everybody was supposed to be, what everybody was supposed to do. He said, the only person I didn't know what they were going to do was me. He's talking about that killer instinct. He's talking about his ability to make plays. He didn't know what he was going to do. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I almost bought into the Kool-Aid. But I'm going to tell y'all something. See, I'm older. Micah Parsons is not even in the same ballpark as Lawrence Taylor. He's not in the same ballpark, y'all. Lawrence Taylor was big. He was fast. He knew football, and his instincts were insane. He ain't Lawrence Taylor. He got a long way to go. He got a long way to go. He got a long way to go. Nah, you're wrong on that shorts run. I don't buy that, because the reason why I don't buy that, you're late to a lot of these arguments. I'm not going to rehash them. So you think the Baltimore Ravens were actually, I mean, you actually think that they had confidence per se in Joe Flacco? Or did they have confidence in the defense and just say, Flacco, just don't mess it up? We're wrong about this thing about quarterbacks. We're wrong. Everybody don't think like some of us think. Some of us think, well, the quarterback is everything. The quarterback does everything. And that's not how I think. Just do your part. We'll take care of ours. That's all you have to do. We don't even want you to do anything above and beyond. Just do what you need to do. The Baltimore Ravens could assure Joe Flacco of a few things. Joe, don't mess it up. But if you make a turnover or two, we'll even give you 3. Settle down. Don't play outside of yourself. And we'll buckle down and we'll get a couple of turnovers. And we'll get us right back in it. This ain't about Dak. If you think this is about Dak, you're missing the whole point. This is about a team that is absolutely broken from the top down. They're broken from the top down. They are. And the people who say the stuff about Dak, they don't know. Daniel, I said it today. And I don't know what you're referring to, but I said it today, cocaine's a hell of a drug. And when you're talking about Jerry Jones not in reality. He's not. And I'm interested in what he's going to do, because this season is pretty much shot, and Jerry knows it. Jerry knows it. But he wants to keep trying to sell us something, and we know doggone well it's not true. We know it's not true. Short run, you're missing it. Again, I keep saying, folks like you don't know football. You just hate Dak. There's a difference. You're looking at other teams winning championships, and I bet you if I compare every team on those championship teams and I show you who they got position by position, I could just go to the last 5 years. I promise you, you're not taking any of the players hardly that Dak Prescott is playing with over the 5 seasons. And let's not say 5. The 3 seasons, one Dak was hurt. Isn't it ironic? I thought about this today. Mike McCarthy is about to end his career with Dallas the way he began it. Mike McCarthy began his career with Dak Prescott injured. 3 straight seasons, 12 wins. 3 straight seasons of 12 wins when Dak got healthy. And now on the end of his last year, Dak Prescott gets hurt again. Irony. But if we take those 12 seasons, those 3 seasons and those 12 wins, We could take it all the way down, y'all. We don't even need to go to the Super Bowl team, especially last year. We don't even need to go to the Super Bowl team of last year. We don't have to go there. We could start at the very bottom. Green Bay didn't beat Dallas because of Dak Prescott. Green Bay beat Dallas because they were better than Dallas. And these fanatical, non-football knowing, Dak Prescott hating, Dallas Cowboy, quote unquote, supposed to be loving. They don't know football. They don't know what they were watching. Anybody who watched down the stretch knew, absolutely knew, the Dallas Cowboys were not ready for the Green Bay Packers if you had been watching. The Green Bay Packers were running roughshod over teams those last few games of the season. They were running roughshod over teams. They were killing it. And me and my uncle, we talked about it. Me and my family, we could see that this was a train wreck about to happen. Now, we didn't think they were going to beat the Cowboys. We didn't think they were going to beat them. We knew they were going to have a problem with the run. But the part we didn't anticipate, Niecy, the part we didn't anticipate was that Dan Quinn was going to change his defense, and Stephon Gilmore said it, LaDainian Tomlinson said it. Everybody knows it. Dan Quinn changed his defense right before the game. And anybody will tell you, no coach does that. No coach does that. They don't. They don't do that. Cowboys were outmatched, even against Green Bay. Sometimes we think when teams are wild card teams, we think, well, it's a wild card team. I mean, and I think the Dallas Cowboys had another problem, y'all. I think the Dallas Cowboys walked in that game and they were smelling themselves and they were listening to everyone say, hey, man, it's the Green Bay Packers. They're the lowest ranked seed to ever be in the wild card, or surely they can't beat y'all. The Green Bay Packers is not who y'all have to worry about. And the Green Bay Packers rolled into Dallas and absolutely stomped us. They stomped us. Because the Green Bay Packers, if anybody paid attention, the Green Bay Packers were actually playing different down the stretch. And folk don't realize it. The Green Bay Packers were playing different. And even though they lost a couple of games, they were playing different. And everybody knows it. 70s fan Dan Quinn checked out because of that Washington job. And Stephon Gilmore said it. LaDainian Tomlinson said it. He checked out because he wanted that job. And everybody knows he checked out. It's funny how Garrett gave us 8-8. We were content because we knew Garrett. Mike gave us 12-5. That we weren't expecting, and we're still not satisfied. I get it. We want the best. But the problem is we don't want to admit. We get fooled when someone says the Dallas Cowboys got 9 All-Pros. 9 All-Pros don't make a team. 9 All-Pros don't make a team. Turpin listened to the media because he planned the party. He had the party before we won the game, Niecy. You said it. Party before we won the game. Jackie Smith, they knew we were front runners and our record at home was great. And they were smart. Get ahead of them. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Get ahead of them. 70s. 2 Cowboy players were planning a victory party at the venue. They were already ready. And I'm going to show y'all something. And I'm not going to go, I can't go all the way through this. But I'm just showing you that anybody who was watching the Green Bay Packers down that stretch, that 6-game stretch, the Green Bay Packers were starting to be a different team. And folks didn't pay attention to it. I want y'all to think about this. The Green Bay Packers, for all of you folk who don't understand football, I was worried about this team the moment I knew they were going to be in the playoffs and Dallas was playing them. Because they were 5-6. The Detroit Lions were 8-3. You know what they did? They rolled into Detroit, and they beat them. Jordan Love, 22, 32, 268, 3 touchdowns. They were starting to run the ball, 17, 20, 22. They ran 22 times. And if you'll notice, look at what they're doing. They're running for 100 yards. You give a quarterback 100 yards, you run the ball 25 times and more, that quarterback has a better opportunity to win. I saw this coming like a freight train. Anybody who was watching this team, if you know football, the first thing that hit my mind was when it was time to play the Green Bay Packers. You know what I thought in my mind? This is a mismatch. Football is about matchups, y'all. A lot of people don't understand that football is about matchups. Matchups matter. Matchups matter. It matters when you see teams. It matters. If you mess around and catch a team, especially towards the end, they're getting hot. They're getting to where they need to be. I don't care if you're undefeated. They're going to beat you. Because the New England Patriots, what really added insult to injury with their second loss against the New York Giants, they were literally about to make history. They were undefeated. They were undefeated. They've gotten the closest, if I'm not mistaken, to that Miami record. They were undefeated. They got beat. They got beat. And I'm telling y'all, look at these games. See, folks don't know football. They just go by the scores. Nah, I'm telling you, you got to start looking at these numbers. The devil is in the details. I want you to look at what they did. Kansas City Chiefs, 8-4. Green Bay Packers, 6-6. They come off a Detroit win. Guess who they beat? They beat everyone's beloved Patrick Mahomes. They beat him. And look at Jordan Love again, 25-36, 267, 3 touchdowns. You're telling me that this team right here was not about to give the Dallas Cowboys everything they can handle? The Dallas Cowboys, y'all, this is another reason why I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. You know why Dan Quinn left the Dallas Cowboys? Because he was mad that Jerry Jones wouldn't get him the players that he needed. Dan Quinn knew this team needed players. Jordan Love said it best. We saw y'all had safeties at the linebacker position, and it was eating time. They ran the ball down the Dallas Cowboys' throats. They gave everybody the formula for beating the Dallas Cowboys, and we have not recovered since. We have not won a home game since, and that's not Dak Prescott's fault. Everyone's figured us out. Everyone's figured us out. They can't stop the run, and they refuse now. It's not that they can't run the ball. They refuse to run the ball. Beat them. Beat them every single time. I want you to look at the Packers, y'all. People don't understand. They talk too much. The hate will not let you see straight. I know what hate does. Jordan Love, 25-36, 267. They beat Patrick Mahomes. You want to see what Patrick Mahomes looked like? This is Patrick Mahomes, y'all. Patrick Mahomes was 21 of 33, 210, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Is that the Patrick Mahomes y'all know? This is Green Bay. This is what Green Bay did. And I want you to look at the running game. Look at Pacheco. Pacheco went for 110, 1 touchdown, 18 carries, 4 carries by Patrick Mahomes, 2 carries by Clyde Edwards, Kadarius Toney. They spanked. They spanked. They spanked the Kansas City Chiefs. And if I'm not mistaken, was this Kansas City Chiefs team? Was this not the Super Bowl champions? Folk don't know football. If they did this to Patrick Mahomes, what do you think they're going to do to the Dallas Cowboys? What do you think they're going to do to Dak Prescott? What do you think they're going to do to Dak Prescott? And he don't even have but 1 wide receiver. The stats on the Cowboys were staggering. How do you go into the playoffs? You got 1 top 100 receiver, and every receiver after CeeDee Lamb drops out of the top 100. Do we not know how many wide receivers are in the league? So you're telling me all I got to do is stop CeeDee Lamb? That's what you're telling me. We don't know football. That same Green Bay Packer team, they stomped the Chiefs. They stomped them. And if you'd have covered up the names and you'd have showed me these stats, I'd have told you that this dude right here was Patrick Mahomes, 25 for 36, 267, and 3 touchdowns. I'd have told you that was Patrick Mahomes. No, that was not Patrick Mahomes. That was Jordan Love. I'm telling y'all, folks don't know football. They just be running their mouth because hatred won't let you see straight. I knew the moment the Green Bay Packers was trending, the moment I saw them trending towards they were going to be the team the Dallas Cowboys were going to play, the moment I saw that trending, I said, uh-oh. Matchups matter. Matchups matter every single time. Folk who don't know football, I don't care what you're saying. Eli not better than Tom Brady in no universe. You can give me the multiverse, you can give me the quadruple verse, you can give me any verse you want to. There is not a verse in any book that will tell you Eli Manning is better than Tom Brady. Matchups matter. But when you got a team that can expose the weaknesses, you better watch out. Green Bay Packers. They then came up against the New York Giants. They came up against the New York Giants. The New York Giants pulled off a win against them. The New York Giants beat them 24-22. But even then, if you pay attention to the stats, over and over again, if you look at these stats and you show me the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to show you the part that's scaring me. Their run game. Their run game is already scaring me. That's what I was concerned about. Their run game. And the fact that we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop nobody from running. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys down the stretch, I'm telling you, the Dallas Cowboys were not playing well down the stretch. They just were not. It was fool's gold. Everybody knew. Anybody who was watching the Cowboys knew we were not ready to stop any team that could run the ball. We were not ready. Green Bay Packers, they lost again against the Buccaneers. But guess what happened? The Packers came back and recovered. 33-30 against the Panthers. 33-10 against the Vikings. 17-9 against the Bears. And understand something. This was a divisional game, and they're always tough. But if you look at what they did, the stats ain't lying, y'all. Jordan Love was playing out of his mind down the stretch. 27-32, 316, 2 touchdowns. Y'all help me out. If you saw this box score with Jordan Love and you saw Aaron Jones, 22 carries for 111 yards, 5 yards a carry. Bo Melton, 2 carries, 2 for 14, 7 yards a carry. If y'all saw that stat line alone, would you think the Cowboys are going to win or do you think they're going to lose? Now, because we love the Dallas Cowboys, y'all know what we thought? We thought the Dallas Cowboys were going to beat the Green Bay Packers because we said, well, we're better. Well, I got reality for us. We actually were not better than the Green Bay Packers. We were not better than the Green Bay Packers. Y'all ready for another crazy stat? I'm going to tell you something else that's insane. This part's going to blow your mind. Let me pull it up here. Y'all hold on. Do y'all know that Mike McCarthy can't seem to beat Matt LaFleur? Why can't he beat Matt LaFleur? He can't beat Matt LaFleur. He can't beat him. I knew there was going to be a problem. Matt LaFleur is smarter than Mike McCarthy. He is. He's smarter than Mike McCarthy as a play caller. He has a more modern playbook. He is better than Mike McCarthy. And this man exposed every single flaw on the Dallas Cowboys team. Every single one of them. There's nothing he could do with him. Nothing. We went into that game thinking, because we were, again, 12-5. We went into that game thinking that we were going to beat the Green Bay Packers. But the reality is simple. I can admit it now. Didn't want to admit it then, but I can admit it now. If you look at all the facts, all the stats, how was Green Bay playing down the stretch versus the Dallas Cowboys? They were better than us. They were the worst team we could have faced in the first round because they could run the ball and we couldn't stop the run, and they could stop the run. We refused to run and probably couldn't run as good at that time. We only had one wide receiver. They had a really good secondary, and they were literally beating the brakes off of teams, including the Kansas City Chiefs, including the Detroit Lions. I think they were pretty doggone good. They beat us. They were better than us. This ain't a Dak Prescott problem. The whole team disappeared. The whole team disappeared. It wasn't Dak Prescott. The whole team disappeared. They disappeared, y'all. You think about our last 6 games. And I want you to think about them just looking at them. I'm not going to run through all of them, but you just look at them. We wound up playing the Seattle Seahawks. That was 41-35. We beat the Eagles in Dallas. The Eagles had crumbled. The Buffalo Bills. This should have been a good measuring stick. The Buffalo Bills beat the brakes off of us. I'll give us this. I think they cheated us in the Dolphin game. There were a couple of issues in the Dolphin game, a couple of calls that should have went the Cowboys' way. The Lions game, we beat the Lions, but the Lions did a lot of beating on us too. We had a couple of crucial turnovers that made this game extremely close. The Washington Commanders, they just were not good. We thought we were going into this game and we were going to destroy this team. But I want to show you. You notice what looks the same? Jordan Love, 272 yards. And he only threw the ball 21 times. And he threw another 3 touchdowns. But that's not the part that's scary. You want to see the part that's scary? You want to know why he threw the ball only 21 times? You want to know why the play action was working so good? Because Aaron Jones ran us off the field. He was 21, 118, 5.6 yards a carry. That's 3 TDs. Y'all tell me, is that Dak Prescott or is that the defense? Who is it? Is that Dak Prescott or the defense? Because my problem was, I want you to look at the running game. We were 15 of 56. Look who had 45 yards. It was Dak Prescott. We didn't even use Rico Dowdle, 2 for 11. We didn't even use Rico Dowdle. We got out-coached, and we don't want to admit it. We got out-coached, and there were some people who did admit it. We got out-coached. We got outplayed. We got beat. It's not a Dak Prescott problem. This stuff starts from the top down. Dan Quinn was begging Jerry Jones for a linebacker. And instead, Jerry Jones sent a team that was that good. He was so arrogant. He sent a team that good. He sent a team that good into the playoffs with no linebackers. Shame on Jerry. Shame on Jerry. Micah Parsons said it. Micah Parsons said that Dak should be able to throw 2 touchdowns and we still have his back. Micah Parsons said that. Micah said he wasn't in his, when he's in his right mind, he's not buying the turnovers. Dak Prescott and any quarterback should be able to throw interceptions because that's a part of the game. They should be able to throw interceptions and your defense has your back and you still should be able to win the game. You should. I know we don't believe that. I know we don't believe that, do we, y'all? Kansas City Chiefs last year. Then I'm going to get back on task. Y'all forgive me. But I just don't understand people who talk like they know football, but they don't know anything about it. They just don't know anything about it. You can tell when people don't know about it because they're not talking as in common sense football. They're talking as in fantasy football. They're talking as in players, fantasy football. This is not, let's see, wait a minute. Okay, wait, I got it. This is why it's not pulling up. Kansas City Super Bowl was actually in 2024. We're going to look at this and then I'm going to move on. I got a couple of things I want to cover before we're done. See if I can find this. See, people don't understand. You should be able to throw interceptions and win a game. Do we not realize, if you look at this box score, this box score is not telling the whole story. You have to know that you have to watch the game too. But if you notice, Patrick Mahomes had 2 TDs and 1 interception. Does anybody not realize that Patrick Mahomes threw that interception at a crucial point in the game? A very crucial point in the game. And their defense was able to hold San Francisco down until they could get them in overtime. They had to take that, they had to take this whale right here, the San Francisco 49ers. Watch this, y'all. Brock Purdy. The Kansas City Chiefs had to take Brock Purdy. Not Tom Brady. Brock Purdy. They had to take Brock Purdy out into the deep and beat him in overtime. That's what it took to beat the San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy. Because that team was playing the Kansas City Chiefs that good. They took them out to the deep. It was the only way they could do it. And that defense, you better believe, it absolutely bailed out the super quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. It bailed him out. It did. And had it not been for that defense, I'm telling y'all, they're not winning that game. Fumble lost, 3 sacks. I mean, they were giving them everything they could handle. It took overtime. And that's why I laugh at people. They don't know football. It's more than a quarterback. Sometimes, I mean, it just is what it is. Your quarterback isn't always on in the playoffs. You know how I know? Tell me how many Super Bowls Josh Allen has. They say he's the best. They say he's top 5 in the league. How many Super Bowls does he have? Before you answer my question, he threw an interception too and was one and done. Lamar Jackson. We talked about it this morning, Niecy. We'll move that goalpost all over the place, man. You start talking about Lamar Jackson. Now, we're going to probably have a different conversation this year. We're going to probably have a different conversation about Lamar Jackson this year, y'all. You know why? Because unlike Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, the Baltimore Ravens paid their quarterback $200 and something million, but they decided that he wasn't enough. Isn't it strange? Lamar Jackson wasn't enough, y'all. Isn't that strange? The one-time unanimous MVP, two-time MVP, probably on his way to a third MVP. Isn't it strange, y'all? They said he's not enough. Last year, they got him Odell Beckham Jr. This year, they got him Derrick Henry. I got a feeling that Derrick Henry is going to do some damage in the playoffs with the Baltimore Ravens, and Lamar Jackson is not going to have to do nowhere near last year as he threw the game-ending interception and almost cried. We don't know football. We're just talking. We don't know football. End zone coverage, your defensive backfield guards the spot on the field, man-to-man. They guard the wide receivers and the running back when the running back goes out on the route. Y'all probably having a conversation. We don't realize that there are many quarterbacks that choke. That's the part that's the part we're not understanding. There are so many quarterbacks that choke. They do. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. It's just a part of the game. Jackie says Purdy will not be a Cowboy, and he hasn't won either. He's gotten to the Super Bowl, but that's not what Kyle is wanting. Confident Cowboy says, what up, G? What's going on? I'm telling us, we start talking and we don't know football. You thinking Dak Prescott losing these games, you're just not looking at the box scores. Dak is a part of the reason. Last I checked, it take a team to lose a game. Because even with Lamar Jackson throwing that interception, Lamar Jackson threw an interception, but the team got him in that situation. And let's not make no mistakes about it. The team they're playing has something to do with that too. Teams aren't just laying down for you. The Cowboys, I believe, the Cowboys thought the Green Bay Packers were going to lie down for them. And the Green Bay Packers didn't lie down for them. They didn't. Somebody forgot to tell the Green Bay Packers you're supposed to lose to the Cowboys. They forgot the memo. They came out. They outran them. They stopped them at every turn. And they beat the Dallas Cowboys. There's just no other way of getting around it. And so, see what teams used to do that they don't do anymore, or at least the Cowboys don't do? I can remember when the San Francisco 49ers beat the Cowboys. Do you think Jerry Jones blew up the team? Nope, because Jimmy Johnson wouldn't let him. You know what they did? Watch this. Tell me I'm lying. I'll show you. Facts don't lie. I'm going to show you how I know facts don't lie and how this game has changed so much. And how Jerry Jones doesn't even abide by his own rules no more. Jerry Jones don't even abide by his own rules. Isn't it strange that we absolutely had a super team? Do y'all know we had a super team in the 90s? Herschel Walker trade. We had a super team. Troy Aikman was quarterback in the super team. And I can remember when the San Francisco 49ers knocked us off. You know what Jerry Jones said? He didn't say blow it up. You know what he said? We don't have enough. Hold on a second, Jerry. You don't have enough? You got Troy Aikman. You got Emmitt Smith. You got Michael Irvin. You got the best offensive line everybody is saying in history. You got a top 10 defense. Jerry, you're telling me that team is not enough to run back on its own and beat the San Francisco 49ers, Jerry said, no, y'all, it's not enough. In 1992, the Dallas Cowboys went and got Charles Haley. In 1992, y'all, the Dallas Cowboys went and got Charles Haley. And you know what they said? Now we got Charles Haley. And we want to win the Super Bowl. And that's not enough. Y'all know what Jerry Jones then went and did? Jerry Jones then said, that's not enough. I think I'm going to go pick up Deion Sanders. But you got a super team, Jerry. Do y'all not see why all these other teams at the trade deadline, they were not doing what we were doing, getting a player for next year? Do we not realize that all the teams, they were making moves because they said we don't have enough? We took a team last year that was literally incomplete, and we said, Dak Prescott, we're incomplete, but we want you to overcome our incompleteness. And we want you to win and beat teams that are better than us. Why? Because he's Dak Prescott? Who else is asking their players to do that? Kansas City's not even asking Patrick Mahomes to do that. They went and got him a running game. They went and got him a defense because they're realizing, hey, you know what? Hey, Patrick's been great, but he's not enough. We don't have Tyreek Hill, so we got to get some more to go around him. We're the only team that does this dumb stuff. We're the only dumb team that does this, and then we have a fan base, 25% of a rabid fan base who don't know football, and then they'll be running around talking about the quarterback isn't enough, ignoring everything that's pointing to, no, it's not that the quarterback isn't enough. We don't have enough to beat these teams. That's the facts, Jack. We didn't have enough to beat the Green Bay Packers. I don't care how good you tell me that team was. We didn't have enough to beat them. Aaron Jones beat us by himself almost. And then when they got us saying we got to stop Aaron Jones, Jordan Love was sitting back there eating popcorn on the play action passes. There's a reason why he only threw 21 passes. We don't know football. We hate Dak. There's a difference. There's a difference in hating Dak Prescott and knowing football. There's a difference. It's a crying shame. The same Jerry Jones who revolutionized free agency. He the same man that killed it. Wins a Super Bowl with free agency. Wins a Super Bowl with the Herschel Walker trade. Wins a Super Bowl, y'all. And then he's the very one that says, I'm working out these TV deals. We're about to be making millions of dollars. We need a salary cap. Well, we about to have money coming in hand over fist. We need a salary cap. And it's so strange to me. He's the very coach that can't get over the salary cap that he tried to architect. He's a victim of his own matrix. He can't even get out of it. It's a shame. He got in his feelings. Jackie Smith, because Amari Cooper would not get the jab, and he made up an excuse. He said that Amari Cooper was disappearing in games. I'm sorry, I'd rather Amari Cooper be disappearing in games than have what we had last year. I promise y'all. Amari Cooper on that team last year, Green Bay don't get to do that to us. Amari Cooper on that team last year, I promise y'all, Green Bay don't get to do that to us. But if you're just gonna give me CeeDee Lamb, and we already know CeeDee Lamb is even showing this year, he's not going to fight through double teams. He's not going to fight for a pass. He's not going to contest a pass. That's not how he wants it. He's a very finesse, still top 3, very finesse wide receiver. That's why you need a dog on the opposite side of CeeDee Lamb. You need a dog. CeeDee Lamb is a different kind of dog. I mean, we just got a French bulldog. My son did. And you know what? French bulldog, they do a whole lot of barking and doing and running around and chasing squirrels. And okay, they this and they that, but they're not a pet bull. Michael Irvin was a pit bull. That's what Michael Irvin was. Dez Bryant was a pit bull. I'm not saying CeeDee Lamb is a French bulldog, but I'm telling you, he's not those type of receivers. He's a finesse receiver. Yards after the catch. You get in front of you, bye-bye, it's over. But you're talking about contested catches over the middle, becoming a cornerback when a ball is underthrown, getting pass interference by trying to fight back for a ball. It's not CeeDee Lamb. That's why I hope they go in the draft and get the number 1 wide receiver in the draft, whoever he is. Go get him. I want to look at a moment here. There's some other things going on with the Cowboys I wanted to bring up. Oh, hold on a second. Let me give you this, and then we'll get back. I'll let you. We'll come back to what I was about to say, because I want to talk about this Deion Sanders business. Somebody just brought it up. I want to talk about this Deion Sanders business. I think we're a little bit out of touch with the Deion Sanders business. Let's see here.
Nationwide is so much.
So, I want to bring up
more
now,
than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Peyton Manning. I'm also calculating Manning.
And as we roll through this saga, it's not over with, y'all. There's more to the story. Because Micah Parsons, if y'all didn't know, and maybe some of y'all do, we're not done with this story. Because Micah Parsons responds. He responds. And hold on just a second. Give me just a second. All right, y'all give me 2 minutes. I got to do something. Y'all talk amongst yourselves in the chat. All right. So let's go to this portion here. Micah Parsons is going to respond to the backlash that he's getting.
Welcome back to The Edge live in your Bleacher Report app. I am your host, Micah Parsons, and this episode is sponsored by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. First and foremost, it felt great to be back out there on the field. But, before we get into any, Eagles Cowboy play, I want to just hit it right on the head. The controversy statement between me and Mike McCarthy. And first and foremost, if anyone ever felt a type of way about this situation, I would like to apologize like I did when I met with Coach McCarthy, apologize to his face, man to man. Whether people understood what I said and didn't, this is why we're here. Obviously, I said Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin, guys who be on their last year, on their way up, because that's who I want to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things for those type of legends who put more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. When I say statements like that, and when I put things like that, thinking about my teammates, right? I understand the coaching aspect, but when you think of guys like Zach Martin, I think of guys like DeMarcus Lawrence. Before Tyron left, I think of guys like Tyron Smith. I think guys like Zeke. I mean, you can even go way back to, I never played with Jason Witten, but think about Jason Witten. Every day you look at all these legends who put in so much time and work into the blue and white. With the Cowboys, they represent how they represented the Dallas Cowboys. Even DeMarcus Ware, you think about all these great legends. And fortunate enough, I got to play with quite a few. I'm still playing with CeeDee Lamb. I'm still playing with Zach Martin. But when I think about all those guys that helped me get better, helped me grow as a player, how much Zach helped me with my technique, critiqued me, even when I was wrong, helped me get better. Guys like Tyron, Dak, Zeke, guys that kind of molded me into the player I am. And, kind of took this young rookie guy that, and kind of helped move me to a place where some would say a superstar, but I would say still a humbling beginning to be able to be on the same playing field as those guys, and understanding that since I've been in the league, every year a team changes, right? There's never going to be the same amount of players. Not the same amount of players, the same players on the same team. There'll be a couple that come back because obviously cap reasons, you got to pay guys retire. But since I've been, MG retired, obviously we let him go, but MG retired. But all those great players I didn't even think we would lose Tyron. So, you just play with so many great players. You never know when it's going to be their last year. I understand that guy like Zach's in his last year of his deal. He could look at retirement. I don't know yet, but, obviously we understand how much time he's put into Dallas Cowboys. He's a legend. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He just done so many great things. So when I think about guys who I want to win a title for, he's at the top of my list. When Tyron's here, I want to win a title for him and Zach. So it just didn't matter to me about the player. It just a matter about the importance and how much, they bring to the program. These guys have just been always true leaders, always been devoted to helping everyone grow. So to me, and it has nothing to do with coaching, right? I look at a situation like, Dan, Dan's like an uncle to me. And at the end of the day, Dan can always do his best for him. I always knew he was a great coach. I never questioned his coaching ability, but he decided to take on a better job. Who knows at the end of this year, Mike is one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history. And that's the God honest truth. We went 12-5 3 years in a row. That didn't happen because Mike's a bad coach, because he's a good coach. And just because one person has trial and error in 1 year, that just doesn't define him. So it honestly hurts me to read these clippings of Rex Ryan and Damian Woody, and we're going to pull them up because it just honestly is infuriating. A guy like Woody, right, a former player, he's a Super Bowl champ, he should know the significance of one, throwing out someone's injury. Like I wanted to get injured. Now that's blatant disrespect. I've never missed a game in my career. Not college, not high school, not even to about 4 or 5 weeks ago to injury. To say that I'm just missing games because of injury, like it's just some injury after I suffered a significant injury playing the game that we love. Someone who's been around teams and legends at that can say, like, that's how I know we all have to see through the BS of what these TV analysts are trying to do and, you know, provide us and basically take words. I never once threw or even intended to throw Mike McCarthy under the bus. Like I said, he's one of the most.
Now, I want you to catch what he said. He first said, I never threw Mike McCarthy under the bus. But he fixes it and says, I didn't intend to throw Mike McCarthy under the bus. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. And if I could give Micah Parsons some advice, and I know he's not going to listen, but if I could give Micah Parsons some advice, you need to start thinking before you talk. Because if you think before you talk, you don't have to come back and fix what you said. Do y'all know the other part of this conversation, that Micah is too immature to understand why he's getting the backlash? And I'm gonna let you hear what he's talking about from Damian Woody and what he's talking about from Rex Ryan. But the reason why, see, he's not emotionally intelligent yet. I hope he gets there. But you don't need to be speaking on any player as if they're retiring. Are y'all not catching stuff? See, I get caught up in these words. He's saying stuff that he actually should not be saying. Who told you Zach Martin was going to retire? Who told you? Did he tell you that in confidence? Did he tell you this was his last year? Or are you looking at the fact that you said he's in the last year of his deal? Are you telling us that you know the plan going forward, and the plan going forward is to let go of guys like Zach Martin? Who told you Zach Martin was going to be gone? Do y'all see the problem? Who told him DeMarcus Lawrence was going to be gone? Who told him that any of these players, how does he even know? How does he know Mike McCarthy can go anywhere he wants to and coach? How does he know Mike McCarthy is gone? You were talking, Micah Parsons. You don't even hear yourself. You were talking in a manner to where anyone listening to you, you're talking like it's the farewell for all these players. That's how you were talking. And you wonder why. You wonder why you're getting so much backlash. How do you wonder? How do you wonder? There's nothing to wonder, Micah Parsons. Mike McCarthy said it right. Mike McCarthy said, stop saying things that other people have to answer for. Let me help us in case we're not listening to what I'm telling us. I don't need you to be talking about you feel sorry for Zach Martin, because now somebody's going to ask Zach Martin, hey, Zach Martin, Micah Parsons was saying he feels sorry for you because he wanted to hold up the trophy for you. Are you retiring? Shut your mouth, Micah Parsons, and I mean that respectfully. Shut up talking about other folk business. Don't talk about other folk business. That's the problem, Micah. If I could speak to you like an uncle, I would tell you, son, you're not listening. You were speaking on other men's business. And while you had good intentions, the road to hell is paved with men and women who had good intentions. Now, don't intend to do good. Do good. Slow to speak, quick to listen. That lady right there, I'm telling y'all, that lady's voice sounds like the same lady that asked Jerry Jones, now that you've seen what this team looks like without Dak Prescott, what do you think? It sounds like the same lady. Process questions. Process questions. I tell folk all the time. at the church, I don't care about nobody's paycheck but mine. That's it. I don't get in other men's pockets. I don't get in other women's pockets. I don't watch people pockets. I'm not telling folk what to do with their money. I'm not doing that. I'll tell you how to give. I don't tell you what to give. That's between you and God. You got to stop talking about other people's business, Micah Parsons. Stop talking about other folks' business. Who are you to say this? Who are you to say that you want to hold up the trophy for Zach Martin as if this is going to be Zach Martin's last year? Stop it. And now we got to start. Now Zach Martin got to start answering questions. You're retiring? I mean, because the way Micah Parsons is talking. So, Michael, if you don't know this could be his last year, then act like you don't know if it's his last year. Shut up talking about Zach Martin. DeMarcus Lawrence don't need you feeling sorry for him. Don't nobody need you feeling sorry for them. You know what we need you to do, Micah Parsons? How about you move to linebacker, and how about you help this team in better ways than you do at defensive end? Because even in the last game, you got 2 sacks and 2 tackles. The sacks and the tackles were the same. You're looking, Demarion Overshown's box score line is looking like the way yours should be looking. This man is all over the field and still getting sacks. How come you can't do it? No emotional intelligence. He's defending himself. He's not even hearing what Damian Woody is saying. No, Damian Woody is saying some of the same things I'm saying. While everybody's talking about Dak Prescott, Damian Woody is saying something. Oh, nah, bruh. Nah, we're not letting you slide. You were on those teams too. What did you do? What did you do? See, everybody want to give everybody a pass. What has Micah Parsons been doing in these playoff games? What has he been doing, y'all? Stop speaking on other man's business. You don't need to be speaking on other folks' business. Don't speak on Mike on the yacht with Jerry Stephen. Niecy said he on the game, hits the game of telephone in Dallas. Man, Micah Parsons not getting it, y'all. Man, one thing I learned, don't speak on other men's business. Man, don't speak on other men's business. You know your business. Don't speak on other men's business. It was rumored that Zach couldn't hang it up after this season. Buzz was going around, I believe, in training camp. So guess what? Until Zach Martin says, I'm done. Don't talk about him. You let Zach Martin make his own announcements. I let men make their own announcements. I always make a joke sometime when I'm about to say something and then somebody else, we've been talking and they'll say it, I'm like, you stole my thunder. It's something about me, you stole my thunder. But I'll say it again anyway. But at the end of the day, don't steal another man's thunder. You talk about yourself. When you talk about yourself, people don't get offended. It's when you talk about other people, they get offended. Talk about yourself. You're going to use an example? Use yourself if you can. Lewis says most teams don't pick a quarterback in the draft when they don't need a quarterback on the team. Smart teams will pick players to help the quarterback be the best they can be. Every team is doing it but Dallas. Every team that signed these quarterbacks to big-time deals, Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. You see what they're doing with Lamar Jackson? They keep giving – they went and got him a wide receiver from the Carolina Panthers. They keep putting players around Lamar Jackson. You know why? They're saying it's not enough. What did the Buffalo Bills do? Josh Allen, big-time deal. What did they do? They went and got Amari Cooper. They let go of Stephon Diggs. He was a problem. They went and got Amari Cooper. Why do you think all the winning teams, I'm telling y'all, mark my words. Patrick Mahomes said it best. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet with DeAndre Hopkins. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Patrick Mahomes said this man is going to get better. Better? What was he, 2 tubs? 8 for 86, something like that, 2 tubs? He going to get better? Everybody but Dallas put weapons around their quarterback, and we make the excuse, well, We're paying them too much. Everybody's paying their quarterbacks too much then. Everybody's doing it. The Philadelphia Eagles, man, it needs to be studied. How do they got that many men under contract? How? How does Detroit have that many men under contract? They know how to work the salary cap. They got a GM and a capologist. We got Jerry Jones. Yep, that gets all the hate, and that's what people don't understand. And that's why Micah don't understand why they're all on him. He hasn't learned emotional intelligence, Jackie Smith. He has not learned the art of PR, public relation. Micah, you don't have to apologize if you only talk about Micah Parsons. If you stop talking about everybody else. One of the smartest things Mike McCarthy has said since he's been here. Stop talking about things, Michael, that other men have to answer for. Stop talking other men's business. Man, shut your mouth. Stop talking other men's business. The only person you need to be saying suck is you. And if you're going to say we suck, then you say we suck and you don't be specific. Man, our team is the only team that think you can win with less. Explain it. Jackie, make it make sense. Make it make sense. We're the only team that signed a quarterback and said he got to do more with less. Put a coach on the last year deal. Put the coach on the last year of his deal and say, now you got to do more with less. We're the only team saying that stupid stuff. We're the only team saying it. And so, Micah Parsons, you can go listen to the rest of that at your leisure. But Micah Parsons is trying to defend himself against what happened was, man, Rex Ryan and Damian Woody. Woo! Boy, they gave Micah Parsons the business. They gave Micah Parsons the business, boy. Man. And it's not just them. Let's listen to a couple of these real quick. Let me see. Let's cue it up. Hold on a second.
Heartbreaking loss.
And here are those ice cold fireball shots.
A bet's a bet.
You know what you got to do? Does it look good?
Ignite your rivalry with Fireball.
Here we go. Eagles, Cowboys rival. Eagles up 21-6.
When
I want y'all to listen to this. We've already heard Micah Parsons. Watch this.
I'm moving away. What is your reaction to that?
I'm just saying. Greeny, I've never heard anyone say anything remotely like that after a game. I really have. And, like, who the hell Michael Parsons think he is talking like that after a game? Bro, you've been missing all these games with the injury. And last time I checked, the head coach is a Super Bowl winning coach. And I know the season hasn't gone the way that everyone is expected to go and all that. But for you to sit there in the locker room right after your team gets pummeled and to just undress your head coach in that manner, see, that's what's going on with all these podcast boys out here in the locker room. Everybody wants to sit there and they want to, spout and say all this type of stuff. There used to be a time when there was a little bit of respect, a little decorum in the locker room, because at the end of the day, it was about we didn't do enough. All of y'all got your asses kicked. Okay, you're going to go out here and talk about your head coach, basically your head coach not working, not doing anything to try to prepare the team. I just think it's a bunch of BS, man. Yeah. I really do. I like, we can sit here and laugh and all that type of stuff and be here in shock, but that's disrespectful what Micah Parsons did to Mike McCarthy in that situation, because I know, again, it's not the results that Mike McCarthy wants, but I know that man is busting his ass every single day to try to go out there and get a win, and to hear one of your star players come out there and say that. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, I can't ride with that.
That's total BS. You're exactly right. And look, coaches are there at some days 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
For 2 or 3 days at least during the week. The hours they put in, it's unmatched. Mike McCarthy, okay, he doesn't deserve this damn comment. He doesn't. No coach does. Look, there's some horrible coaches out there, but none of them deserve this. The kind of work that they put in as coaches, like, I'm just telling you, I don't know, like, most players know that these dudes, you can forget about it. You're giving up family time. You're giving up all kinds of stuff in your life, and you're going to get some ass sitting back. I don't care how talented he is. That is absolutely BS. And if you would work half as freaking hard as a damn coach does, maybe you'd be able to play every damn game. Maybe your team wouldn't just be a bunch of punks and lay it down every damn week like you're doing. How about being a damn football team? You're going to sell your damn coach out? It's a crock of you know what.
Yes.
Y'all see what happened when you start talking other men's business? Shut your mouth. Stop talking about other men's business on your podcast. Your podcast is your business. Stop talking other men's business in the post game. They're talking to you. Don't answer questions about anyone else. If you can answer, I was devastated when Dak Prescott was hurt. Okay, Dak don't have to answer the questions about how you felt. They're asking you how you feel. And when they ask you about Mike McCarthy, you tell them, I don't know anything about Mike McCarthy being here or not. That's above my pay grade. I just want to talk about what I did in the game. That's all I want to talk about. Stop talking about other men's business so other men don't have to answer questions about you talking about their business. That's what they're talking about. See, everybody keep talking about Dak Prescott. Everybody keep talking about Dak Prescott. I'm about to show y'all another amazing stat. Did I not tell you the devil is in the details? The devil is in the details. Let me show y'all something. Trayvon Diggs was hurt last year. It's amazing how Deron Bland played. I'm going to show y'all a couple of stats that's going to blow your mind right now. See, Micah Parsons needs to learn how to be quiet. He can be a great player if he'll learn that. Focus more on the game. Focus more on football. Focus more on the game. Because I'm going to show you an amazing stat. First of all, I don't understand why the Dallas Cowboys is not playing Marquise Bell. Marquise Bell last year in the playoff game. This is the Green Bay Packer game, y'all. You want to see something very telling? Marquise Bell, 5 tackles, 3 assists. This is the one I want you to see. Look at Deron Bland. Deron Bland, 5 tackles. Tell me the game where Trayvon Diggs had 5 tackles. Now, I'm sure we can find it. But we're going to have to do some serious searching. But do y'all know who played in that game last year in the playoff game? If I'm not mistaken, Micah Parsons was not hurt, y'all. Y'all want to see something amazing? Watch this. Marquise Bell, 5 tackles. Deron Bland, cornerback, 5 tackles. Safety, Jerron Kearse, 5 tackles. Stephon Gilmore, cornerback, played his butt off, 4 tackles, 1 assist. Donovan Wilson, safety, 2 for 3. 2 tackles, 3 assists. Chauncey Golston, 1 for 3. Jonathan Hankins, 1 for 3. DeMarcus Lawrence, 1 and 3 assists. Neville Gallimore, 1 and 2 assists. And look at Micah Parsons. You want to know why people have a problem with Micah Parsons? I'm going to let y'all look at that. Maybe y'all can't see it. Maybe some of y'all, if you're not looking at a screen, do y'all know this is Micah Parsons with 1 tackle and 1 assist? This is Micah Parsons. This is the Green Bay game. Dak Prescott lost the game for us. But this is our superstar player on defense. This is Micah Parsons. It's not criticism, this is analysis. He's out of position, y'all. It's not because he's terrible. He's out of position. And we got an owner / GM, and I would imagine that there's probably some coaches saying, hey, Jerry, Micah would be better for us at linebacker. So you're missing your linebackers. You'd rather have the safeties playing linebackers, and you don't want to let Micah Parsons just play linebacker and figure out ways to scheme him to blitz from the linebacker position. That could literally help your team. But the GM is telling the coach, well, Micah, he wants to play defensive end. Care what Micah Parsons wants to play? Put him at defensive end. Don't you dare compare him to Lawrence Taylor until you put him at linebacker. This is what you're getting this is what you're getting right here. We do all this talking about Micah Parsons. And yep, he flashes. He flashes. But if you're really paying attention, Micah Parsons is running all over the field, and he's doing absolutely nothing. Teams have gotten so smart against Micah Parsons, they're not even triple teaming him. And if they're triple teaming him, it's on the way out the backfield. They're triple teaming him with a tight end that may get him. They're triple teaming him or double teaming him with a running back or a halfback or a fullback that may chip him. But they're not staying on, they're just chipping him. They're just slowing him down. If they're double teaming him, he's so small, he can't break a double team. I got news for you. You ain't double teaming Bosa. I wish you would run a tight end. I wish you would run a tight end and a running back at Bosa. I wish you would run a tackle, a tight end, and a running back at Bosa. He going to give all three of them problems. All three of them. Micah Parsons is undersized. He's undersized. He's playing the wrong position. And he's not contributing to this team as much as people think he is. And Jerry Jones is about to give him the bag. He's about to give him the bag. Not because to me, and he is potentially a great football player if you put him in the right position. But I think a big part of the appeal for Jerry Jones as it pertains to Micah, he likes the fact that he has that podcast. He likes the fact he's always running his mouth. He likes the fact he's always bringing attention to the team. That's why Jerry said when they asked him on 105.3 The Fan, well, I can't help but smile. What? Mike McCarthy wasn't smiling. Y'all notice that? Mike McCarthy wasn't smiling. Mike McCarthy said a grown man statement. Stop saying things that other men have to answer for. Stop talking other men's business. Straight up. Stop talking other men's business. Mitch Roman, we miss Bland. I hope they shut him down for the season. Don't bring that man back. Seeing that chart just made me fall all the way out. It's amazing, isn't it, Nisi? I keep telling folks the devil's in the details. You can tell me anything you want about Dak Prescott, but until you show me where the folk like Micah Parsons is performing and not disappearing, everyone keeps talking about it. He disappears down the home stretch of the season. He disappears in the playoffs. Where is Superman at? Where is he at? Where is he? I'm telling us. It is what it is. It's right there. Because Jerry thinks that Micah and Dak can do it by themselves, not realizing that the roster isn't good enough with it. I'm telling us. That's the problem. The roster ain't good enough. We were not good enough, y'all. They can tell you all they want to. Well, Dak Prescott had 9 All-Pros this year, and that's not a team. That's not a team. I'd rather have 2 All-Pros if you're going to give me a team. I don't need a team. I mean, I don't need just superstar players. I need a team. I need players that perform. I'm telling us, the Cowboys in this run with Mike McCarthy, it's been fool's gold. And that's why it's getting blown up. It's been fool. See, this is our problem right here. See, this kind of stuff right here. This is our problem. We believe this stuff. 9 players were named to the 2023 All-Pro teams, with 4 earning first-team honors and 5 earning second-team honors. First team, CeeDee Lamb, Deron Bland, Zach Martin, Brandon Aubrey. Second team, should have been first team, Dak Prescott, Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Micah Parsons, Brian Anger. So you got 9 All-Pros. So does that make you a Super Bowl team? Does it make you a Super Bowl team because you have 9 All-Pros? Or does it make you a Super Bowl team when you got great coaching, players in position, a great game plan, good players, role players, some great players, and everybody performing? Which one is it? Fool's gold. Absolute fool's gold. You can go and look at this stuff. I mean, it's right there in black and white. I mean, you can see this stuff. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing when you look at it. Y'all ready? I'm just going to show you the headline. I keep telling us folk don't know football. They just be running their mouths, because there's a difference in hating a player and there's a difference in backing up what you're talking about with true, unadulterated facts. You want the facts, Jack? Feast your eyes on this. The Dallas Cowboys had 9 All-Pros. The San Francisco 49ers had 7. Who went to the Super Bowl? Who went to the Super Bowl? See, you listen to the Colin Cowherd say stuff like, the Dallas Cowboys got 9 All-Pros, and they got beat by the Green Bay Packers. All-Pros don't make you better than All-Pros. All-Pros don't make you better than a team. It just means you have good individual players. I'm not concerned as much about your individual players. How are your individual players playing collectively as a team? That's why you get stuff like this. San Francisco 49ers, 7 All-Pros. 7 All-Pros, y'all. Went to the Super Bowl. Jerry Jones is pure fool's gold. He don't know football. And he fools a lot of folk who don't know football. Well, surely if we're paying our players this amount of money, and surely if we have all these All-Pros, and surely, no, it's not surely. Ain't nothing sure. You better put together a team is what you better do. And when you see deficiencies on your team, that's what the trade deadline is for, Jerry. That's for you to go say, uh-oh, we got a team in 2023. Dan Quinn is telling me all I need is a linebacker. That's all I need. Mike McCarthy is telling me, hey, we need one more wide receiver. One more wide receiver better than the ones we got on the CeeDee Lamb. Just get me one more wide receiver. We're going to step up our run game with Rico Dowdle. The Cowboys were literally 2 to 3 players away from being dominant, but we let people fool us with fool's gold talking about 9 All-Pros. Don't know football. 9 All-Pros don't mean you're better than anybody. Just means you got a lot of individual players that play good at their position. Nisi, you hit it right on the head. 49ers is a complete team, and they are about football versus branding. Just telling the straight facts. Stuff isn't easy to see. I mean, it's not hard to see. You can give me anything you want to. I'm not listening to you. There's a difference, y'all, in coaching and teams. There's a difference. It's absolutely sickening when you look at this stuff. It's just sickening. Look at this. I'd like to see just how many, but when I pull this up, it says the Kansas City Chiefs have 3 players on the first team All-Pro list. I wonder if they had 9 All-Pros. I wonder if they had 9 All-Pros in 2023. I just wonder. It's amazing to me, y'all, that no one said the Kansas City Chiefs were loaded with All-Pros. They didn't. No one said it. No one said they were loaded with All-Pros. No one said it. Nowhere. But it's strange. They have 3 All-Pros on the first team. Let me see here. I'm trying to see, like, are they going to name the second team All-Pros? Because I don't know if they had any second team All-Pros. It doesn't show any. Maybe there are. But I can tell you this. It seems more likely than not that the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs didn't have 9 All-Pros. Miss me telling me there were 9 All-Pros around Dak Prescott. You don't know football. There's more to winning games than 9 All-Pros. I don't care if you got 9 All-Pros. It don't mean they beat All-Pros. When you got teams, well-coached teams, when you got those kinds of teams, you can tell me the Dallas Cowboys got 12 All-Pros if they don't have a good team. Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, and that's the part we don't understand. Doesn't matter. All pros, that's great. That's an individual accolade. Winning a Super Bowl, that's a team accolade. That's what people don't understand. That's a team accolade. And the Cowboys don't have a Dak Prescott problem. They got a team problem. When I see stuff like this Micah Parsons nonsense, this Mike McCarthy nonsense, this Jerry Jones arguing stupid stuff as simple as the curtains, stupid talk. And Jackie, you hitting it right on the head. No other team in the NFL is doing what Dallas is doing. It doesn't work. That's why they're not doing it. You know what I was amazed at last night on Monday Night Football? You know what amazed me about Monday Night Football? I can't get over this. I'm watching the Miami Dolphins play the Los Angeles Rams. And there was something about that game that really struck me and made me feel really bad about the levels that we have sunk to as a franchise. I want you to feast your eyes on this. Anybody see anything strange about this on the screen? Anybody see anything strange about the box score? Do y'all know that the Miami Dolphins coming into this game was 2-6? The Los Angeles Rams coming into this game was 4-4. Do we not realize that the Miami Dolphins now have Tua Tagovailoa back? And the Miami Dolphins was playing that game like it was a playoff game. And rather than trying to go for draft position, they're trying to win. That's when it hit me. We're absolutely pitiful. It is absolutely pitiful that we're playing for draft status. I mean, I'm torn. I mean, I want to be in the top 5 of the draft. I mean, the way this season has gone and what this owner is doing, I mean, it's the consolation prize, at least, that we can at least get in the top 5 of the draft. But I'm looking at a Miami Dolphin team and the Miami Dolphins went out there playing. The Miami Dolphins went out there and played like draft status didn't even matter. That's how they played. Do we realize that when you look at the 2025 NFL draft, do we realize where the Miami Dolphins, if they lose the game, the Miami Dolphins literally move into the 6th spot? I got a strange feeling. Call me crazy. I have a strange feeling. This team right here at number 11, in case y'all don't know who that team is, I got a strange feeling that this team right here at number 11, the Dallas Cowboys, I think y'all know who this team is. I have a strange feeling that this team is going to move somewhere around number 8 after Monday night. And to add injury to insult, we have an owner. He is basically can say whatever he wants to say, but he stripped this team down to the bone so this team could lose. There's no way Jerry Jones can tell me he thought this team was going to win. He stripped it down to the bone. He thought it was going to be a little bit more entertaining than it is. But at the end of the day, Jerry Jones knew absolutely well this team was done and now it's cooked. It's a travesty. It's a travesty, y'all. The Miami Dolphins made me realize how crazy this is. Niecy said, Mike said in his press conference how to build the team. The Joneses think they know better than him. Didn't he say it? You never draft for need. You develop players. God says it would be hard for a rich man to get to heaven. Can you see it? Amen. Boy, can you see it? You can see it, Jackie. Boy, I can too. Boy, cause them rich men, they be hard-headed. News, Jerry Jones just signed the Invisible Man. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Man, this is crazy. And we're watching this, and Miami made me realize last night. Miami said, man, we're not no punks. Did y'all hear Rex Ryan call this team punks? Rex Ryan said this team lays down, including Micah Parsons. What? The Miami Dolphins said last night, we're not no punks. Individual rewards our players yearn for, not team accomplishments. Boy, the Miami Dolphins said, we're not no punks. They said, we don't care about being in the top 10. You know what the Miami Dolphins are saying? I can tell you what they're saying. We're 3-6. We can make a run. That's what they're saying. They're saying we can make an absolute run. We're running for this playoffs. Guys, we're 3-6. There's 8 more games to go. We beat the Rams. We're not throwing away the season. We're going to try and win this thing. And you're right, Jackie. And another reason why they're going to try to win. It was a must-win for them Dolphins. You know why? You hit it on the head. The team is loaded with weapons. And you know what they're saying? We ain't blowing this up. We're going for the win. Every single week, we're fighting to win. Tua has dogs on defense and weapons on offense in a must-win situation. And I'm going to tell y'all something about Tua Tagovailoa. Y'all ever seen this movie by M. Night Shyamalan called Glass? Where Samuel L. Jackson was the glass man? I mean, his bones were very brittle. I don't give Tua Tagovailoa some credit. We have literally watched this man have some of the scariest concussions I've ever seen in my life. This man is out there with no head protection, still scrambling, still running, still playing football, even though I'm sure his family don't want him playing it, people telling them not to play it, his friends, people out there in the world are saying no more playing. Tua Tagovailoa is an absolute dog. He out there playing. Y'all don't understand, man. This is more than just a quarterback. I mean, this dude is a dog. Why? You know why? He got a dog for a coach. He got a dog for a coach. Niecy said your season is supposed to be about getting to the Super Bowl. Facts. Jerry Jones cares more about making money than building a great team. Absolute facts. Try telling Jerry. Facts. Al Davis has a great waiting for Jerry to pair up again. Being the 2 most toxic owners in NFL history. Man, facts, man, I'm telling us. I'm sorry, y'all. I would blow this team up and get all dogs. Keep Dak, CD, and only the dogs on defense. That's it. That's it. And at this point in time, unless you tell me Micah Parsons is going to be moved to defensive end, I'd have traded him and let somebody else put him at defensive end. Depressing seeing a 12-5 for 3 years now. We look like a dang Raiders, go figure. And Jerry did it. That's it. Mike Fletcher said it, 53 brands. Our owner preaches brands. That's it. That's why he loves Micah Parsons. All pros is a popularity contest. Remember when we first got Coop, we went on a run, remember? Yep, 3-6, I think, 3-5, something like that. We gave up. We did. We gave up. The Giants proved that the lowest seeded team in the playoffs can still go all the way. Man, I'm telling you, watching Miami made me realize, boy, we have sunk. We have sunk. We have sunk to levels that are crazy as a franchise. It's unreal. If we somehow win Monday, I want us to go on an 8-win streak and watch and Washington and Philly lose 8 total games. That happens. Not only do the boys make the playoffs, they win the East. Man, boy, Freddie. Woo, boy, you just said boy right there. Man, hey, Michael, you don't want none of Rex Ryan. Do your football research on those Ryans. They are fighters, and that sumo wrestling won't help you. Man, that dude from a different era. I feel bad for the Cowboys fans who attend the game just to watch us lose another home game. I mean, I got some family, they got tickets. And I'm like, I mean, some of my family members, they're already backing out. They're trying to sell their tickets. And I just don't understand. I'm different. I'm built different. I don't go to a stadium for the experience. I care about no experience. I want to go to a game to where the team is going to be trying to play and win the doggone game. I don't care about this. I don't care about no experience. I want to experience winning. I don't want to experience Texas. I don't want to experience AT&T Stadium. Jerry Jones is saying we are 3-6 and we keep losing. We get a better pick. Mitch, we're going to have this conversation again on Monday. And I promise you, there is a team on this list right here. And they're at number 11. I think that team is called the Dallas Cowboys. I just don't recognize them anymore. They don't look like the team I remember being 12-5, being 12-4, 12-5, 12-5. That ain't the same team to me. But this team, the Dallas Cowboys, after Monday, watch what I tell you. They are like the Jeffersons, y'all. They are moving on up. The Dallas Cowboys will crack the top 10, I believe. They will literally crack the top 10 this week. Because I'm not sure that the Jacksonville Jaguars want to keep losing. I mean, we'll see, but I'm not sure if they want to keep losing. Remember the last year, Philly? Yep, that was funny. It ain't funny now, is it? It definitely ain't funny. Yep. Jackie, you said you love it, live games. Hey, I love it. I'm definitely going to go in 2025 season if I'm still here, Lord willing. 2025 season, I plan on going to some games. But this year, this is atrocious. This is crazy. No Dak Prescott, knowing that Jerry Jones is trying to lose these games. It's crazy. All right, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. There was one other story that kind of caught my eye, and I don't know if y'all heard about this. Let's see here. I think Niecy gonna get a kick out of this. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if this is even worth. But Niecy, you about to get a kick out of this as we run up out of here. But before I show you what I'm about to show you. You cannot make this up, y'all. You cannot make this up. It is being reported on the Athlon. Jerry Jones hints at an injury to Cowboys' new starting running back. Starting quarterback. You can't make this up. Another potential injury in the quarterback's room. Cooper Rush entered Sunday's game against the Philadelphia Eagles with a 5-1 record as a starter, filling in for Dak Prescott during the 2022 season. For a multitude of reasons, Rush was not able to capture that same magic against the Philadelphia Eagles. Isn't it amazing, y'all? They're moving the goalposts for Cooper Rush like he's some mythical unicorn, like he's the greatest quarterback in the league, and it's everyone else's fault. It's everything else's fault other than Cooper Rush. They don't even do this for Dak Prescott. But they're saying that it was a multitude of reasons. Yeah, they were all Cooper Rush. Rush was not able to capture. It says initially the team hoped that Prescott's hamstring injury would only prove a temporary setback, but Tuesday made official his status. The Cowboys quarterback will have season-ending surgery on Wednesday in New York. According to Jerry Jones, however, that is not the only injury update from the Cowboys quarterback room. Rush sustained an apparent neck injury on a fumble early in the Sunday's loss. I'm not so sure. He had quite a neck strain on that first fumble where he went down and didn't get the recovery. He said during his weekly appearance on the Dallas radio station, I'm not at all making excuses, but he was not the Cooper Rush that we know and how he can play. He can play better. So we're going to blame the atrocity that we saw. We're going to blame the atrocity that we saw on Sunday. We're going to blame the rest of that game on a neck injury he suffered on the first fumble and say the reason why he was so horrible the rest of the game, it was because of a neck injury. I give up, y'all. I absolutely give up on this. I give up on this. I give up on this. This is crazy. Golly, this is crazy. Niecy. Cooper Rush gonna start. But we done already gave Cooper Rush the excuse to fail. He got a neck injury. Sir, you are a nut. You don't know football or players. We done already gave him the excuse. We done gave him an excuse that if he look bad, we already know what's going on. We already know what's going on. Man. Man, this stuff, you can't make this stuff up. Tony Simmons. Boy, you better believe that. You better believe Jerry Jones smelled that top 10. Man, Diggs and Mike and Overshown is the only draft steals, BB's included. But other than that, garbage. Hey, he can't go wrong in that top 5. Because I tell you what he's gonna do. He's gonna get Travis Hunter. If he don't get Travis Hunter, he'll get a running. He can't lose in that thing, man. You get top 5, how do you lose? You either get the top wide receiver, you either get Travis Hunter, you either get that running back from Boise State. If you crack that top 5, you can't lose. I don't care what's on your board. You take the best person available. You take the best person available. Man, this is just hilarious to me. This is hilarious, man. Jerry Jones still trying to sell tickets. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. I'm telling you. Whew. I can't get over this. I cannot get over this. How do you make up these excuses for Cooper Rush? That's not the Cooper Rush we know. That's the one I know. That's the one the Rams game showed when he played the 4th game. That's the one the Eagles game showed when he played the 5th game in 2022. He's trending exactly how he's been trending. He played 3 terrible teams, and as the competition got better, he decreased. It's no other way to get around it. Woo, boy, we will pick top in all rounds if we get top 5. There it is. There it is. It's just crazy. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. We got more tomorrow on the early show. I still got a couple of things I didn't get to. Fumbling Rush is his new name. Y'all hit that like button before y'all get out of here. We got more stuff coming up. Tomorrow, we're going to open up. I actually got one more big topic for tomorrow. I'm going to start with tomorrow. We're going to address this Shedeur Sanders business with the Colorado Buffaloes and people talking about the Dallas Cowboys picking up Shedeur Sanders. I'm clearly under the impression that Dallas Cowboys fans are delusional. 25% of us are delusional. Shedeur Sanders. We're going to discuss this tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for being on the show. Again, hit that like button on y'all way out. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Got another video dropping sometime tonight, so you can catch it tonight or in the morning. Got a couple more videos coming out on top of the live stream tomorrow. But we're going to continue to just hit you with nothing but Cowboys news. You might hear somewhere else first, but here, you're going to hear the facts. That's going to be my time. Appreciate y'all again. I don't know. It's crazy, 70s fan. That's going to do it for me. Let's talk Cowboys. We talk facts. Peace.